Ben?
Ben? I was trying to... You always start these by saying my name. I was trying to second guess you.
And we ended up in stereo, which was quite magnificent.
Well, just about phased stereo.
Phased stereo, slightly out of... What I'll do is I'll actually, because these are mono recordings, I'll actually put them in quadraphonic.
You can't you can't break our voices into separate things.
What was the audio system Tommy used?
Quintaphonic.
Yeah, I'll make it quintaphonic. There
Yeah.
So it'll only be playable on one system from about 40, 50 years.
You can only play it in a cinema in 1975.
Perfect.
Before the film existed.
I like the sound of it. Ben...
What's the happy fun time film watching today?
We're back on the Bond, Ben.
You know, let me tell you, the world is in such a weird place at the time of recording. You know, we could be on the brink of a international conflict where it feels like we're just coming out of a pandemic, even though it's probably just going to, like, tomorrow it'll probably be like, brand new surge, excellent. And, you know, it's all, gas prices are going up, fuel prices are going up, Britain could be heading towards another recession. So we thought we'd lift our spirits by watching a really cheerful, happily go-lucky movie that's so good, it's losing the ability for me to speak.
Yes. We're watching James Bond with a license to kill, or rather not a license to kill.
Laugh a minute, this film.
He gets his license taken off him for being a naughty boy.
Yeah,
Bad
well,
Bond.
there's a... I might as well tell the story now, actually, before we start. So the original title of this film was, when they were shooting it, actually, it was called License Revoked, which makes sense, right? Because that's what happens.
Yeah.
Gets his license revoked. But they had to change it because they said, dumb Americans don't know what revoked means.
Oh, great.
That was their reasoning.
Brilliant. Fantastic.
So it became License to Kill, which, like you say, is not what happens in the film.
No, the exact opposite, in fact, is
the latter
case.
half of that title happens, not the former.
Yes. And I should also, just for the sake of Ben's clarity, this recording...
I thought you were going to say, for the sake of clarity, revoked means...
just for the sake of Ben's clarity, this is being recorded after 8 weeks nearly after we recorded The Toxic Avenger, but in real world terms, this will be going out a week and a half after The Toxic Avenger. So people will think that we've been sort of mooching about for a week.
Don't you mean in pretend YouTube terms?
In pretend YouTube terms,
YouTube
yes.
isn't the real world, Dan. It's fantasy.
It is. All of the people are on there.
You're all living a lie.
Larry Bundy Jr. is my best friend. He told me so.
You're all living in a fantasy bubble.
You're all...
Of your own creation.
It is my will and I will create. So yeah, for what is a week and a half to you, dear viewer, it's actually been 8 weeks between myself and Ben. So Ben, what's going on in the world of Bostock? Anything interesting?
I'll tell you what's going on, right? It's raining and pouring. That's what's going on.
It is. Spring is nearly here.
Nothing particularly exciting is happening. I'm turning 30 this year. Oh, and I was going. Me and my partner were going to go to Poland, but there's literally a war happening right next to our fucking hotel. So I don't think that's going to happen now. So we sort of like we spoke to our EasyJet. I think we're with. I don't know if she does all that. EasyJet to see like if we can like maybe redo it, like reschedule it, go to somewhere like warmer, somewhere nicer, somewhere maybe not where there's a war happening. And they were like, well, we're just going to wait and see what happens in the next few months. It's like, it's not going to end tomorrow, is it? Watch now. War, Russia and Ukraine come to agreement tomorrow.
Historic peace agreement agreed, and then it ends with the ending of Rocky IV.
They say, I'll try not to date this too much. They say that peace talks are in progress, or something is happening in terms of that. I don't know if anything will come of that. Those might be my famous last words, but that's what I read anyway. That they're coming to some sort of agreement. I could be wrong. That could all just be propaganda, but who knows?
Well, I was going to say before we hit record, me and Ben both mutually agreed.
This is a current events podcast now.
Yeah,
this is Ben and Dan talk the news.
We're no longer doing Bond commentaries. We're going to be doing current affairs, and we've also decided...
And it's ironic as well that we're doing this on a Bond film which has nothing to do with the Cold War.
Which is weird, because it's one of the few films where the Russians don't actually turn up.
Well, this is the last film that was made under the Cold War. And, like you say, this has nothing to do with Russians or European intrigue and spying, and it's all about... That's a drone I'm doing. Hans Zimmer did the music for this film. And every now and then he does this. It's my impression of a Hans Zimmer score. Boom, boom.
So for your musical enjoyment, Ben has promised to rescore this entire film.
Hurt my throat doing
all
that.
the way through. Well, life's been all right for me. You know, I've been fairly busy doing bits and pieces. Yeah, it's going all right. So we're going to watch.
I'm glad one of us is all right.
I'm just about holding it together. My thinking is, well, if we all get nuked out of existence, we all get nuked out of existence. Que sera, sera.
We won't. Life's not that interesting.
No. It'll just go on for a really long time, and prices will rise, and politicians will philander.
Yay!
Yay.
Now let's watch this happy film that'll make us smile and forget about the bad things in the world.
Yeah! So James Bond with a license to not kill, which was the other alternate title that didn't get accepted. I don't know why.
I've got a license to not kill.
I'm just a normal bloke.
Just going about me day.
Can't murder nobody.
Got a license to not kill.
It's like I'm just wandering about. I can't hold.
Do you want
a
to get
gun.
the subtitles on?
I've got the subtitles on. We are queued up on a
You
ball.
are prepared.
I am on the ball.
Yeah.
We have got a black screen, and we are going to hit play in 3, 2, 1. James Bond.
Boom. There's always that little pause because the PS4 can't seem to like. Ooh. That was a lion you heard.
Second roar.
That was a lion you heard from Dan's very loud television. Very 80s UA logo there.
Very 80s.
Yum,
It reminded me a little bit of the Canon logo.
That little, it does a bit actually, yeah. And we get a sort of.
Not the Bond theme.
It's a sort of interpretation of it.
James
Bond theme
playing.
Well, that's a lie, first of all.
Yes, I disagree.
This would be a good time to mention that this is the last film, Living Daylights, was, as I said, John Barry's final turn at doing the music. So this time the music is done by Michael Kamen, who is a very famous composer. I mainly know him because he did the music to Brazil by Terry Gilliam.
Nice.
But he's done lots and lots of stuff. He's very
Prolific.
Very well regarded composer. But this was his only turn on Bond.
Oh,
I mean, he's better than Bill Conti. Let's put it that way.
No, I liked Bill Conti's score. I liked Gonna Bond Now. That was my favourite song.
Gonna Bond Now.
Gonna Bond Now.
Yeah, that was the alternate name. Yeah.
And also the final entry in Uncle Timbo's career.
Yeah,
as,
which
Bond.
it's a very it's the Sylvester McCoy of the Bond era. This people either like these films a lot or they don't like them a lot.
I mean, I'll save my full thoughts for the end of
I'm
it.
going to be a best man at a wedding towards the end of this year, and I'm hoping that this thing happens where a helicopter comes and the FBI are like, we need you, Ben. We gotta go stop a drug lord. Come with us. I'm like, I don't know who you people are. You've got the wrong Ben. Come with us. This helicopter was sponsored by Budweiser.
Oh, brilliant! I hope Spuds McKenzie's on board.
Just because it's red and white. I think the advertising bug's got in my brain and hypnotised me, because as soon as I saw that red and white helicopter, my first thought was, fancy a Bud now.
Booze goes in, charisma comes out.
You get married to a Sharky. Be fine.
Title, end credits just start rolling now, and that's it. That's the whole film.
You get married, I'm off to have adventures with my mate James.
I mean, this has got a very, very long opening titles compared to some of the other Bond ones. Normally, they sort of...
It's a good husband, by the way, who rather than getting married, chooses to go and potentially get himself murdered by a crazy drug man.
Yes.
It's Robert Darby. Robert the Goonies Darby.
Ah.
And he's also in Die Hard. He plays one of the FBI agents.
Oh, right.
He plays one of the, like, do you remember when there's like two FBI agents and they're both like a bit smug and a bit full of themselves, but they can't suss it because like John McClane can, and he's one of them.
Ah.
He had a busy 80s.
I can imagine he did.
Yeah.
Does he always keep a piece of wood in his coat, just randomly?
A piece of wood.
Well, I'm assuming it's a piece of wood. It doesn't look like any whip I've ever seen.
It's based, well, obviously a whip, Dan.
It doesn't look like a whip. It's got weird pointy bits on it.
Well, I don't think they actually whipped the actress in real life. if that's what you're implying.
What, they didn't?
No, this isn't one of your kind of films. One of your seedy, nasty films.
My 42nd Street collection.
Yeah. James Bond was probably buzzing at this point. It's probably. I imagine he finds weddings quite boring.
Yeah.
Apart from the bits where he gets to be like Vince Vaughn in Wedding Crashers and find girls to shag.
Yeah. You, my friend, to my place tonight.
You now, good go.
Great. Oh yeah, I imagine adventure gives him quite a boner when it comes to if it's that or a wedding.
See, doesn't that helicopter make you think of Budweiser? It does
I can see
now.
what you mean. I can see what you mean.
It's all connected, Dan.
Now, quick question: do all police or federal government agents have to wear hats with their names?
This is such a. I love that shot.
Yeah.
But then it's such a manly man shot.
It is. It is.
Slow motion, and he's there in his wedding suit.
I'm afraid to say, Ben, it looks like James Bond has been infected by Magnum PI.
I keep expecting the Commando score to just bump in at any moment.
Yeah.
With those steel drums.
Yeah.
And then the saxophone comes in. This film, actually, this is the one Bond film that could have benefited from a stripped down, crappy synth score.
Proper dun 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 dun.
Yeah. I'll say the score is great. It's probably my favourite part about the film, actually.
It's quite enjoyable. It certainly
Yeah.
is. Although I will say,
I could do that. I jump like 2 feet.
easy, mate.
I jumped more than that when I was in school, throwing myself off walls for a buzz.
Did I ever tell you about my dad's old school friend who used to jump off buildings for fun?
No, you didn't tell me about your dad's friend who jumped off buildings for fun.
My dad, when he was in Catholic school, and I think that's all you need to hear really,
Yeah.
had a friend who was convinced that he was the $6 million man and also was TV's Fall Guy. And to prove it, he would climb up onto tall buildings and then jump off them. No training. He wasn't like wanting to be a stuntman or anything. He just was convinced he could.
Did your dad's mate inspire that Jam sketch where the guy jumps off the balcony 50 times rather than straight at the top of a tall building in case he changes his mind about killing himself?
Well, the story that always gets me, and it's the one my dad always tells me whenever he references this person, was that apparently at one point he climbed to the roof of the Catholic school and jumped off it. And the idea was that but where he jumped was directly above the car park, and there was a soft-top Jeep that was always parked in one particular bay.
Landed right in the path of an incoming car.
So he got to the top of this building, and he jumped, and he just reckoned that this Jeep would be there, because it's always there.
Yeah.
And the day that he jumped was equally the day that the teacher who had the soft-top Jeep bought a hard-top Jeep. And rather than land on comfy canvas and kind of bounce off and onto the floor, he hit hard metal and the roof of the car went through, and he ended up in hospital with 2 broken legs and a broken arm.
And that man grew up to be...
Johnny Knoxville.
I like how all that came from just a 2-second shot of Tim Dalton jumping out of a car. That's what I like about these. You know, I was watching this again recently for this, and my memory of it, like, I remember, like, Robert Davi playing Sanchez as, like, a very dour, grim, humourless guy, but he's actually not that, really. Like, I like a lot of, like, these bits when he's in the plane, he's, like, smiling and laughing, and he's like, those dumb cunts in the FBI.
Yeah.
Can't get me, I'm Mr. Drugman.
He's quite light-hearted about it all.
Yeah, he has more fun with it than I remember, because I remembered him as being very dour and humourless, and he's not really. He has moments of, you know. In fact, when they another thing I heard about was when they were that's convenient. How lucky, hey?
Oh, brilliant!
Right near the wedding, almost like it's in the script. When they were screen testing the actress to play Pam, who turns up later, Tim Dalton wasn't available. So they got Robert Davi in to play Bond in the screen test. I can see that, actually.
I can see it working, yeah. Yeah.
This is the most 80s thing ever. We can stop the baddie and we're just in time for the wedding.
We are...
Nice day to start again.
Literally a year later...
This film needs a soundtrack by Power Station.
It does. Some like it hot. It's bits like this that I really enjoy about this
we
film.
Stopped him, and we just happened. The drug lord just happened to know
that you were getting married here.
Yeah, how nice of him.
Yeah.
I think we should let him go. But we have to let him go because otherwise the film can't happen.
The only way it could have been better then is if that priest had run out and gone, I now pronounce you man and wife.
Yeah. Oh, like he lands, like she's doing the rites and he lands like right next to her.
Yeah.
And, he's got the ring and he lands, and as he lands, she's got her finger held up.
Yeah, and the ring goes on
And
as
it,
he hits the ground.
Oh, it'd be so cheesy and terrible.
I do.
It'd be perfect.
And then they pull through the camera lens and they go to slightly rubbish. I'm getting over the 70s people running around with coloured gels.
I'm glad you are, Dan, because this is the last time dirty old man Morris Binder does the
Oh,
titles.
thank God.
So you won't have to watch these anymore.
I'm quite relieved because I enjoyed them during the Moore era, but now they look terrifically out of date.
I'm really over these now.
Yeah, really.
I think the audience was as well.
Yeah.
I think. Can you imagine, like, if it got to the? I suppose I don't need to tell you. You probably guess when we get to Brosnan.
The Brosnan era.
The Brosnan years in the 90s.
We welcome Brosnan.
The titles get all, CGI and whizzy and techno-y, which... Can you imagine if the titles were like this for, like, GoldenEye?
Yeah.
In the 90s? People would be burning the cinema down.
Yeah.
So we've got Glad Night doing our song this week.
Fantastic.
It's pretty good.
I'm okay with
It's my
this.
partner's favourite of the Bond themes.
Liked it more than The Living Daylights.
I don't. I still think I know how you feel about Living Daylights. Your weird thoughts about that song.
Didn't care about it.
Well, I mean, you thought it was worse than View to a Kill.
Yes, I did. I love
It's
View to a Kill.
objectively better.
No, View to a Kill is one of the best Bond songs. Hands down. I like the bit where the CGI camera flies around the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah. So.
I did like that shot though.
They're all going this one. Here
This
now.
one with the barrel of the gun and it's sort of all in red and.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't really work still for a Bond opening, but I just quite like it from a cinematography standpoint.
I think dirty old Morris was sort of phoning it in by this point. Just like well, as if they went to him and go, so what's your ideas for the titles for this film? Right, and as he's saying it, they're mouthing what he's saying because they've heard it. A load of women in silhouette, loads of lights, loads of like flashy, crappy shit on the walls. Every now and then, a target, a gun barrel.
Each time after he's finished his standard description, the people go, yeah, didn't we do that last film? And then he'll sort of go away for a second, quickly scribble something down on paper and go, you know what's cool now? R&B. Lasers.
Oh, this is John Glenn's final turn in the director's chair.
Oh, great.
Yeah, this is a lot of finals in this film. It really is the end of an era in some way.
I mean, I will say, given that this was Glenn's direction, I think that this is probably one of his better offerings.
Yeah, it's not too bad. And there's Everett McGill, who plays Big Ed in Twin Peaks.
Right, I sat there for the entire... I couldn't be asked to look him up, but I spent the entire time watching it going, is that Big Ed?
That's
Big Ed. He looks like Big Ed.
That's, and it's funny because, like, in Twin Peaks, his character's like the most nicest, cuddliest, like, dad figure ever. And in this, he's like a cold, hard, corrupt man. And it's weird to see him as cold, hard, corrupt man. I don't know if I buy it because I'm just looking at him and going, oh, he's just so cuddly.
Yeah. He just wants a slice of pie and everything to be all right.
He just wants to get off with Norma and be nice.
I mean, yeah, it works for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, this film is very different.
Yeah, that's why I sort of. By the way, Felix's bride is weirdly keen on Bond, considering it's her fucking wedding day. At least wait until you come back from the honeymoon before considering like an affair.
Yeah.
At least give it a week.
This was the thing. I mean, in some customs, it is customary to kiss the bride for good luck. She's a bit too keen.
She's like all over him. She's like snogging him, and
she's like, "Bond, you got to come kiss the bride." But you're getting married. I've kissed the bride.
It's I forgot that she's in it this early. Oh. Yeah, I forgot about that.
It is a blink and you'll miss it. She doesn't really turn
I thought
up
her
again
first
for another
appearance.
45 minutes. So.
I remember her first appearance as being in the Roadhouse.
Yeah.
Look at that computer.
Oh shit! Yeah, I forgot. This is also
Dan,
known
it's
as
the future. We have computers now.
I wonder if it's got an IBM in it.
You can play solitaire on that thing.
Oh shit!
Speaking of solitaire, that's the same guy who played Felix in Live and Let Die.
Oh nice.
David Hedison.
Good to see they're actually getting them back a bit, I suppose.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he lobbied for it. I think he wanted to come back and do Felix. Because like obviously in this film, Felix, he's not in it after about 20 minutes, but he's the central like thrust of everything that happens in the film.
Yes.
So he's quite a big deal for once. He's not just guy who gives Bond exposition,
Drives him to the
plot and says you need to go to this place.
Drives him to the circus casino. He's a bit different.
He's a bit of an NPC, isn't he? In some of the other ones.
Hi Bond, where would you like to go?
Yeah.
We have a takeaway on order, by the way, so I may depart for a few minutes to go and get that.
Yeah, leave me riding solo again.
I'm enjoying a delicious Sprite. Ben is on the Fanta.
But yeah, I sort of went on this little... I remember I talked about this in View to a Kill, but this would be a good place to do it as well, is that the 80s was very much like a weird phase because each film is different. Like you've got For Your Eyes Only, which is just like a misguided, a noble but misguided attempt to bring the Bond series literally back to Earth.
Yeah, seems
You've
fair.
got Octopussy, where they just shrugged their shoulders and went, oh, don't know.
Just went egg, and that's it.
Egg, like
Egg.
a bird's egg.
Just, what's the next Bond film? Egg.
And then
Done.
A View to a Kill, where they just went, fuck it, back to Moonraker campiness.
Loved it.
You've got Living Daylights, which was another panic move. Fuck it, back to From Russia with Love, Dr. No-esque intrigue and mystery, and Cold War and Russians and blah, blah, blah. And then you've got this, which is a very swerve to like a darker, more
Gritty
intense,
Bond.
Violent, isn't it, really?
It's got that
Look at that
rougher
guy,
edge.
that guy with the beard.
He's having a right good time, isn't he?
He is eating off his tits.
He's done half a key of Ket and he's ready to
Is,
party.
yes. He snorted it off Della's tits because she's such a slut.
Oh, what's his
Just
name?
snogging everyone.
Oh, shit, now I've ruined it.
Felix.
No, I was going to say that.
His name is James Bond, Dan. That's the character you're thinking
Oh,
of.
yeah, that was the one. No, I was trying to think of the character actor who, he's you know him probably best for being in Rock and Roll High School as the man who says that your music is great and dangerous to mice.
Mr. McCree?
Yeah, it's Paul something, isn't it?
Yeah, he's like a countercultural figure as well.
Yeah, I can't remember his second name.
I don't know.
Anyway, the joke's ruined, so...
I didn't know there was a joke.
I had a joke
I thought you were
lined
just
up.
trying to remember something.
No, I had a gag lined up because I saw something that made me go, oh, it reminds me of him, and then I spent 5 minutes going, what's his name? And now the time has passed.
Oh, no.
Judo gun to the face.
Big Ed has betrayed Felix.
Judo Big Ed betrayal.
Oh.
Judo swimming trick.
And his plan apparently involved committing suicide.
The perfect plan.
If he's dead, he can't be arrested, technically.
He also can't slander the dead, so anything he does now...
I don't think people will be worried about slandering an evil drug lord. Oh, this is his henchman, his scubaman.
And this, Ben, is how babies are made. Pure opium.
If I was Sanchez, I wouldn't want to do this. I'd be happy going to prison than fucking getting drowned.
They actually got the tanks mixed up and he's been inhaling pure helium.
There's the Budweiser helicopter again.
So for the rest of the film, he sounds like Mickey Mouse.
Mr. Bond, I've come to get you.
Pure uncut opium, finest in the market. 8 million in unlaundered bills.
Oh, he's even got an evil boat.
Oh, great. And it's called the Jaws Eater 5,
Yeah.
starring Michael Caine.
They're throwing Budweisers down at them to give them morale. Don't worry, lads, we've got you.
It doesn't work. Quick, send the B-52s in.
Oh, we get a little
I liked
a little
this
back
bit.
reference here.
I liked this bit.
Jesus Christ, Ella. Just full on undress in front of him.
Please,
Just shag him there now. In front of your husband.
I think Dalton handles it quite well as well. Like Roger's approach to his dead wife.
The mention of Tracy.
Was quite sort of remorseful, sadness.
Yeah.
Whereas he's more of a kind of quiet sort of...
Yeah, because he doesn't get like, which is weird for Dalton to not be remorseful actually, but yeah, he just sort of takes it in goodish humour, which is more realistic, I'd say.
Well, here comes the 5-minute orgy scene.
Oh man. Felix hired them because he was jealous of her getting off with Bond at a wedding. And look, there's baby Benicio del Toro.
Ah.
I bet this was one of his first films.
I think it must have been, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if he was in much before this.
So, Ben, we've reached the important aquarium scene. I have to ask the question, what is your favourite fish?
I hate fish. I hate the taste. Don't like how they look.
What about the goldfish?
I've never owned a fish.
What about the band fish?
What about Michael Fish?
Michael Fish was a good fish.
What about fish fingers? Don't like them either.
I'm okay with
I said fish fingers as he said finger. That was planned.
In stereo. There you go. It's like, if you play this commentary synced up to a copy of License to Kill,
Yeah.
it actually syncs up pretty well, and you can tell because sometimes words get synced in with the words that are said on screen.
Yeah, we'll be spinning Dark Side of the Moon in a minute and see how it all syncs up. Whoa. That was a very dramatic way of opening that suitcase. And I suppose if there's like $2 million in there and they're all in 20s, so it probably would be quite heavy.
250 teeny beanie babies.
Here's your $2 million, Chriddof. It's all in 20p's.
Back the truck.
You need 10 men to bring it. I did that just to be a dick.
There you go. 4,000 letters to Santa Claus. Rick Nail's looking well.
So I suppose this is also a good time to mention the fact that this film had a bit of a back and forth. Well, this probably won't surprise you at all. A bit of back and forth with the BBFC.
What? The BBFC in 1989 having a problem with blood and guts on screen?
The first time that had ever happened, because there was a big debate because they had something which they sort of unofficially called the Bond sort of allowance, where Bond films could get away with being a little violent and a little over the top because people knew that they were just silly cartoons, essentially, and they weren't real. They were just adventures. So with this one's weird because it's not really played that way. The violence in this film is played very viscerally and very in your face. Yeah. Like what's about to happen with cuddly old Felix here. I think they submitted the first cut and the BBFC came back and said it was an 18. And they were like, well, we can't fucking put a Bond film out that's an 18. Are you joking? So, yeah, and they ended up doing a little bit of re-editing and a little bit of rejigging. I think I might be wrong, I think most of those cuts were waived for the home releases. So I think what we're watching now is not a censored or a cut version. Yeah. It's pretty much what was intended. Although I think some shots are still missing that were in their original work print or whatever that maybe they felt were just too much.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to say when watching this opening section of the film, it does rather feel to me like they hadn't decided what they wanted to do with the first act just yet, and then one of the writers saw Jaws and was just like, why don't we have killer sharks in the movie?
14 years later?
Yeah. Because I mean, the shark
Why not
in this.
They should have just got Jaws, not the shark, the man.
Yeah, just have him swimming in the water. He bites Felix's leg off.
He could have bit Felix's leg off.
Yeah. Oh, right. 1 second. The takeaway is here. Oh, I shall be right back. Oh,
You're going to have to step over me.
I am.
Oh, dear.
Back soon.
Okay, so here's Bond, James Bond. He's going in the airport now. This is actually one of the first Bond films I had, because I had the first DVD of this. I had this and this is License to Kill. I had this and Living Daylights, which is probably why these two Dalton films, the double act, are very, very nostalgic. So is Dolph Lundgren behind him there, or oh, he can't get a ticket. He's got to go save his mate. He's too heroic to get a ticket. This film's very sweaty. I always get a bit of sweat on watching this film. Not in that way, just more in I don't know, everyone looks very humid. I like how this is done, all handheld. Like I say, it's very, very visceral compared to the other ones. It's actually quite unsettling as well. In its own way. Yeah, maybe Dan's right. Maybe the direction's not as bad as I would have expected from John Glenn. Tim Dalton said that weird. Della! She's fine. She's still alive. Her eyes are open. That means she's still alive, right? Look at that computer. I can't take my eyes off it. That tells you my age, I suppose. Sighs deeply. God damn it. And that note there, he disagreed with something that ate him. I think that's from the book of Live and Let Die, which I haven't read in a donkey's age. Probably not since high school. I'm just getting into watching the film, aren't I? It's just going to be a long stretch of dead air now. I do apologise. Sharky. I misread that. I thought it said Starkey. Richard Starkey. He had a lot to do with this film. Who's that actor? He looks familiar. He's one of those that guy actors. Hello. Oh, look what the angels brought.
Oh, delicious takeaway.
Delicious food. Smells delicious.
For you, sir.
Thank you very much.
And your complimentary fork.
I don't need one. I'll be fine.
Oh, okay.
I'm just going to consume it with my greedy guts.
I think that's mine. I think that's chicken nuggets and chips.
That's a proper little boy's tea, that.
It is.
Yeah. I was just saying that this film it's very sweaty.
Very sweaty.
Everyone's visibly humid.
I think that might be yours.
We'll find out, I guess.
This one's yours.
Thank you.
I ordered a kebab, so.
Scrub up. He has to look nice when he eats with me. Oh.
So Ben, nothing happened.
Now the whole video's ruined.
It's
I have to
okay.
start again.
It's okay. We'll make it work.
It's fine. You're probably at the right place, and if you're not, don't matter.
This is going to be overtime in the edit for me. Oh boy. Man alive.
It won't be as bad as on Spice World when it stopped for like 10 minutes.
Yes, that was a bad
And we all
time.
fell out of sync.
Chips and chicken nuggets. So that's for me.
This actually reminds me of going to Florida.
Oh, if that's the case, I think that's mine and this is yours.
Okay.
Because I think this is chips as well.
Actually, I can see the meat coming out of this, so yeah. This is definitely yours.
Delightful. Oi, kebab o'clock for Dan.
But yeah, I was just saying that this actually reminds me of going to Florida.
Oh, yes.
I didn't go... This is in Key West.
Yeah.
Which I didn't go to. Went to Orlando and St. Peter's. But, yeah, it reminds me of that. Everyone, like I said, everyone's very sweaty and humid.
Oh. It sounds like a delightfully unpleasant heat.
Well, it's because it was, for whatever reason, I'll say for whatever reason, it was to do with tax. These things are always to do with money and tax. They couldn't make the film in Britain. This is actually the first Bond film. I think it actually might be the only Bond film where none of it was done in Britain. It was entirely shot abroad, entirely in... So they didn't even go to Pinewood.
Oh, blimey.
All the studio stuff was done in a studio in Mexico. Where they were doing the location stuff was for that as well.
They blew up the Bond set out of sheer frustration.
I think the only thing they did at Pinewood was like the post work, but that doesn't count.
Nah. Truly a bleak age for the Bond movies.
It was probably somehow Thatcher's fault. It was to do with something called the ED levy, where filmmakers would be taxed more for filming stuff in the UK. It's a tax dodge. This film was a tax dodge, basically, is what I'm trying to say.
Definitely not a scam, it just flicks back and forth between slides. One says, give us your money. The other says, this is not a scam.
I heard them. It seemed like a good idea at the time. We'll all go to nice, warm, sunny Mexico and Florida and have a laugh, lads. Well, hey, but I think they realised that the heat in Mexico is
Stifling.
it's a bit hot. Some people were like passing out. People were struggling to breathe because the air in Mexico is so bad because the air's so thin.
Timothy Dalton melted.
Could be Broccoli. Who was there for the first chunk of the Mexico shoot, and then he had to go home to go to hospital because his old lungs couldn't handle the Mexican heat. Because there's like, it's probably the case now, but the air in Mexico is so thin because it's so hot and humid, and the air pollution as well.
Unbearable.
This is a different film, I know, but when they were making Total Recall and they were shooting in Mexico City, and everyone got ill from that as well, apart from Arnold Schwarzenegger, who doesn't get ill ever.
Didn't that happen in Predator as well? They all got really, really bad food poisoning apart from Arnold because he only ate food that he bought.
Because he had this nice swanky Hollywood food brought in, and they all had to eat the local rubbish.
And they all died apart from him. But he mentions it in the commentary in really good stead.
They all got the shits from shitty toilet water that was coming out of the taps and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh dear.
You know what Bond should have said?
Go on.
Guess I can't worm my way out of this one.
I guess you're not going to fall for the bait.
Nice.
Yeah.
Worms in the face.
Judo worm flip.
Worms 3D.
Judo dehydrate.
That man's going to be suffocated by worms.
Maybe to a lesser extent, he could have said, here's to you, chum.
That could have also worked. Roger would have got away with that.
I was going to say, that's a bit heavy on the Roger, isn't it? So, can you explain to me, again, why Pierce Brosnan isn't in this yet?
Well, that's the thing. Like, he's going to... He could have been in it. He could have been, had history taken a different turn. Had Remington Steele producers not been dicks and said, no, we still have you under contract, cunt.
Because I seem to recall you saying in the last one that it was the Remington Steele adverts that stopped him being in The Living Daylights, because they wanted him for that one, didn't they, originally?
Roger... Yeah, they wanted Pierce for years. In fact, they wanted Pierce as early as 1979.
Oh, wow.
Around that time. Pierce Brosnan was in that little TV show called Remington Steele, became a big star, and the end of that show coincided with Roger deciding he didn't want to do the part anymore. So Broccoli and United Artists thought, oh, brilliant! The stars are aligning. We'll get Bronholm, and he was well up for it, ready to do it. But then when the Remington Steele, I think NBC or whoever did Remington Steele, found out about this deal, they turned around and went, we're bringing the show back for another couple of seasons. And you're still contracted. So you have to do it. So they're like, shit, back to square one. Not that I mean, he got his chance eventually, so it's not too bad. And it's not like Dalton was a bad choice at all.
It's just bizarre that they would go nearly 20 years after the fact for him.
Well, Dalton was ready to... Dalton could have easily done GoldenEye. They offered it to him.
Did they?
They were ready to give it to him.
Oh, blimey.
Because basically what happened was his contract technically ended in 94.
Yeah.
But they said that they wanted him to... I think they said that they offered him GoldenEye, but they wanted to extend his contract to be like, oh, and you have to do another... Because they don't just sign actors on to do like one film, do they?
No.
It's like 3 films, 4-picture deal, 5-picture deal. I don't think he wanted to get tied into it again. Like a thing where it's like, okay, this is going to be my life for the next 5 years.
Yeah.
Don't want to do that. I want to do other stuff. So
it's weird to think though that a Dalton-led GoldenEye is probably something that actually happened in some alternate reality.
Well, Dan, everything happens in an alternate reality.
Shit.
That's why it's an alternate reality.
I really shouldn't have eaten that edible before we hit record. That was another question I was going to ask you. Why was there such a massive gap between 1989 and 1996?
It's to do with a legal issue that MGM was. Basically, MGM was in dire financial straits. There was never. It wasn't like a Doctor Who where they had stopped making it or whatever, or it wasn't a creative decision. It was purely to do with the fact that MGM.
We have no money.
Yeah, basically, we have no money. Bond films are probably the most expensive. Well, I think United Artists as well as a company was basically falling apart and crumbling. And 94 was. I like this, by the way, that they somehow seem. I don't know why they're trying to make you think it's Blofeld.
You know, I have
with all the
same
cats.
thought with it. I was like, is Blofeld in this? And then, obviously, no, they reveal that it's...
Spoilers, it's M.
It's M, yeah.
Spoilers, it's Q.
Very hello, Bond!
Well, we've got that. That's not yet.
Oh yeah, that was another thing I took away from this film. This film only reinforced my absolute undying love for Desmond Llewellyn. I love that man. May he rest in peace.
I'll talk about him more when we get to him, but this is I suppose they had to come up with this whole getting sacked angle because it wouldn't really make sense for MI6 to be like, you have to go get this drug lord because who cares? All he's doing is dealing drugs. That's out. Like MI6 give a shit.
Well, didn't they actually make that the plot of Live and Let Die?
Well, yeah. The difference there was that Kananga was bumping off MI6 agents, so it became their it became their concern.
I mean, he did try to take Felix out though in this one.
Felix is a CIA guy. He's not an MI6 guy. He's not one of their gang.
Yeah, true. He's not in our club, Bond.
That's what M's essentially saying in the scene. It's like it's their problem. Why you asked? And Bond's like, because he's my mate, Gov. And M's like, I'll give a fuck if he's your mate, Gov.
Get out my pub. I did love M's line. This is not a country club.
Yeah.
I wish Tory Cunt was here. He'd have tried to get Bond sacked even quicker.
Robert Brown's final appearance as M.
Oh. Next M is played by Eric Idle.
Tory Cunt is there. Yeah. Yes. Bond. Get rid of him. Go now.
Go. Yes. Yes. Quick, shoot him. He's supposed to die.
I'm still upset for you killing Drax. My best friend.
Careless Whisper comes on gently in the background. He turns to a signed photo of Drax floating in space. No explanation for how he signed it.
It's a still floating body that has not decomposed in any way. Would it decompose in space?
No. And there's a vacuum in space, so bacteria can't live in it.
Oh. This is why we have Dan on, because he knows things.
Hello, I'm a scientist.
Well, he's playing one of those text-to-speech games.
Oh, great. Make it say boner.
Could blow up shark. I'm sorry, I don't understand.
Take off clothes.
I'm sorry, I don't understand.
Clothes off.
This is a typical classic 80s sleazeball villain. Say, hey, come here, lady. Yeah.
Hey, baby.
Basically, yeah. He looks like every pub landlord.
He does. He's got I own a caravan park vibes.
I own a caravan park. He reminds me of a guy who, when I went to Ibiza, there was a guy who ran one of the local bars on the strip, and he looked like exactly like a Bond villain. He was fat and bald. He had an eye patch. First and last time I've ever met anyone with an eye patch.
Oh wow!
I thought only pirates had those.
Yeah, maybe he was a pirate.
He was fucking creepy as fuck is what he'd do. He'd encourage women to go on he had one of those booking Bronco machines, and women would go on it and he'd film it, the weirdo. He's probably dead now. His heart probably gave way.
I hope he's dead now.
I hope that man is no longer alive.
I wish for him to cease breathing.
I think it'd be funny if he just didn't, even though he owns a marine company, he just doesn't understand what fish or aquatic life is. Oh, it's just one of those things. It's
the swimmy bastards.
The The black things, the things that look like quilts. What are they called now? It begins with Q. It begins with P. What is it? Peter, Paul.
Waterbirds. That's it.
Yes.
It's a waterbird.
I know nothing about fish. I got this job through my sleazy connections because I'm a sleazy scumbag. Thunderball vibes now.
You know what I'm really missing, and I think that all of the Bond films have been missing this. I need a scene of Bond in a severe action moment with a Beach Boys track as the backing music, please.
Mike Love was unavailable for this film.
They only let them have Kokomo.
He was too busy appearing on Full House around this time.
Was Cocktail 1989?
I think Cocktail was a bit before this. I think Cocktail was like 86, 87.
I was going to say, because I was going to say, yeah, Mike Love originally offered Kokomo to this film for the Bond theme, but...
Was that the same year he wrote Summer of Love? The best bit, aka the best Beach Boys track ever.
It's a love thing. Then we can scoff at Mike Love. He managed to work with some of the Baywatch
I thought your
people.
sentence was just going to end there. We can scoff at Mike Love.
We can.
So here's the scene where Bond puts the man in the thing.
I still say the best thing he's ever written was that COVID song. This Too Shall Pass, I think it's called.
John Stamos is on that as well.
Yeah.
Drumming. Looking really, really bored.
It's me and my
He's
buddy.
like, I'm over this guy now. It's pretty cool at first, hanging out with the Beach Boys, but fucking can't be arsed now.
He just wants to talk about driving, girls and football. He's 78 years old.
He's got a bus pass.
He's got lymph nodes the size of cats.
He can qualify for a pension. He shouldn't be talking about picking up chicks on the strip in his 45.
I saw him drop his wallet and he made a noise bending over to pick it up. In fairness, I do that.
I also make a noise picking up your wallet.
Yeah.
That noise being, yay. Come to me.
I don't know why. It's very empty. Even the moths have starved to death. What do you think of my knife?
I think Ian Fleming would have loved this film.
Oh, I think he would have.
Because I know it's been unsubstantiated rumour that he didn't care for Doctor No, he didn't care for the early ones. And of course he didn't live to see the third one. But I feel like he'd have got behind this because his books were very gratuitous and very violent and very sexually violent. And he would have been all over this shit.
Oh yeah, I could easily see him being well into this, especially the bit where they blow that bloke up.
Oh God, yeah.
I imagine if he was alive, he would have given a little "hey" when that happened.
He would have gone, yeah, oh, my heart.
I shouldn't
Poor heart.
I shouldn't have smoked all of that tobacco and asbestos.
I shouldn't have drank and smoked every single day all the time.
Every single minute of every day. Since I was 3. So, Ben, this all happens in the same universe as Moonraker, yeah?
Basically, yeah. I mean, it has to. We've established it happens in the same universe as On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
I still subscribe to the canon that I created, that all of these are sequential, and that they happen just one day after the next.
One day after the next.
Yes.
Yeah, the Bond films take place over the course of a month. One concentrated month.
It was also known as Planet Terror.
It just feels like something as some dark grindhousey spirit has infected the films with this one, doesn't it?
It does have that exploitation edge.
Oh, totally, yeah. And we should probably talk about the fact that this film, it didn't exactly bomb, because Bond films don't bomb. I don't think any of them have quote unquote bombed. They've all made their money back. Because otherwise, well, they wouldn't make them, would they? They just stopped ages ago.
Oh, yeah.
But it underperformed compared to what... I think they were expecting it to make, like, they quoted some ridiculous figure, like $400 million, and I think it made like $200 million.
Oh, you
So
see,
that scene is a failure for Bond.
if
but-
they'd have put out an N64 game, they would have made it.
They could have put a game out for this on the NES.
Tap X to blow up blow up the prisoner. No.
LJN could have made it. They made all the film games.
I'm pretty sure that A View to a Kill got a game, didn't it?
According to you, it did. I only found out about it when you looked it up last time.
Yeah.
Like a text adventure sort of thing.
Yeah. The Living Daylights, I think, had one as well, but I'm not sure if License to Kill did.
Play Beach Boys.
Well, East
California Girls. I don't understand. No, neither do I, to be honest.
It just comes back with the actual lyrics, one after another, but it doesn't stop ever. It's effectively like that extra.
You unplug the computer, it's still going.
You remember that extra on the Jam DVD, where it was like endless mode, where if you pressed it, it just locked your player and played Jam on a loop.
Yeah.
It's like that, but with the lyrics for California Girls.
That doesn't work now, by the way, because, well, it doesn't work on a PS4 anyway.
Oh yeah, can you just quit out to the menu and then?
Yeah.
Bummer.
Well, it didn't work at the time anyway. You can just reach over and turn your DVD player off. No DVD has the power to disable the on-off function.
It would have been way more Jam-esque if when you unplugged it, it still kept playing.
Yes. So yeah, this film underperformed. I mean, this came out the summer of '89, which was the summer of Batman, the summer of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, starring, of course, the old Bond. It was the summer of Ghostbusters 2. It was the summer of The Abyss.
Good choice.
One of the Lethal Weapon sequels, I think 2 or 3, don't know.
It was the summer of Things.
Was it?
Yeah, Things came out in 1989.
It was that the things also happened. It was what I'm trying to say was it was a crowded fucking marketplace. I don't think any. To be honest, I don't think any. I mean, you had Batman coming out, which made like billions, squillion, jillion dollars, all the money in the world. And you had the third, and what was then touted as the final Indiana Jones film. So, any of the films were going to suffer with that, up against that. And it's the reason why Bond films now, even now, don't come out in the summer.
Really?
They used to come out in the summer, because that's what you do with big films, isn't it? Summer blockbusters. But now they come out in like February, March time.
Blimey.
Because I think they're confident that it's a Bond film. It'll probably make money any time of the year you put it out. Doesn't really matter. But
Was that why No Time to Die was delayed?
No Time to Die was delayed because there was a global pandemic on. That's why.
Look, there was a global pandemic on.
You've not noticed you've been too busy sitting here eating the kebabs.
There was a good kebab.
Yeah. So good it made me forget about world events.
We're at war with who?
Russians! Oh! Just like the old days.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, we are in Cold War 2 now, aren't we? So maybe that'll seep into the next crop of Bond films.
I hope DeBarge turn up and play Rhythm of the Night.
Oh, this is pretty cool. Well, I also like as well this is like a classic Daft Bond moment, him jet skiing on the water, and they sort of highlight the absurdity of it later on when Scumbag is talking to Sanchez and he's like describing this. He's like, he jet skied on the water and he flew away, and Sanchez is like, oh, like a little bird. Like, because realizing like if you told someone this shit, they would think you were making it up.
Oh yeah.
Like what, he jet skied and then he got on a plane and plane jacked the plane and then he flew away.
And kicked the driver out and took all the money.
Basically, yes. Oh no, he chucks all the drugs and stuff out of the plane, doesn't he? Or money or whatever it is.
Don't open the door. It's the worst thing you can do on an aeroplane.
Well, what else is he meant to do?
May I show you the
Well-
door?
See, what that guy's mistake was, as you say, he opened the door.
Mm.
If he didn't open the door,
He wouldn't have fallen out of the plane.
he'd be with his wife and kids.
He'd have all the drugs and money he could eat.
He'd be living it up.
Nice house, clean shoes.
I don't know why clean shoes are such a priority. I mean,
Well, Ben, you would say that.
such a meanie.
It's okay, I love you really.
Dan's such a meanie.
I'm still cool.
Look, it's a little funky version of the Bond theme.
Hmm. Not him, the money.
I forgot about this bit. That's all right. The glee on his face as he's chucking money away.
I'll keep 100 for myself, but that's it.
he just cuts some. He's still like a few quid down his pocket.
Yeah,
you
just-
know.
Well, I'm off the clock.
Well, you know, I'm not. I'm on a roaring rampage of revenge mission, but I'm not daft.
I'm not working for anybody at the minute. This is freelance.
I'm
technically.
basically unemployed. So you know, if I get a giant cube of money in a plane,
I'm sorry, someone needs to do James Bond, the unemployed years.
who's this basically?
He's just got a gut. He's sat on the sofa. He keeps checking Job Finder.
That would be Bond in real life.
Oh yeah.
Because if Bond existed in real life, MI5 would have sacked him off years ago due to like Tory cuts.
Not even Tory cuts. As soon as he walked
He'd
in,
be
he
sat
slapped
there.
someone's
Oh
back.
my God, Dad, look at that!
Wow. I've heard that's called a compact disc.
A compact disc. You can fit like 5 songs on that.
I believe that's a 6 kilobyte disc. The finest. A lot of dead people.
That's just the who's who of like Stoke-on-Trent next year. That
It is.
deceased.
Mrs. Bouvier!
And now this is where all the cool people go, the Barrelhead Bar. With a name like that, how can you not just instantly want to take a shower as soon as you walk in?
And this was the point where I fell in love with the film.
What, when it turns into Roadhouse,
Yes.
starring Patrick Swayze?
Be Bond until it's time not to be Bond. And this is where
film-
the Powerhouse soundtrack would come in.
This film is aggressively mid to late 80s.
It is
Like,
violently so.
violent.
They've even got Rambo on the bar.
It's violently 80s.
The only way it would be is if every single table had a small pile of cocaine just levelled up there.
In like little bowls, like you get at restaurants.
Yeah,
For,
like breath mints.
Yeah. Budweiser are in the film.
Ah,
I wasn't wrong. I'm not crazy.
it's
Shit,
nice.
it's Mario. Mamma mia.
I know his brother Luigi.
Oh no, it's the movie versions. Hey, what you doing?
What kind of pasta pazzoula is this?
I like that little moment where she's like sizing up his like penis because he's got like that tiny Walther. She's got a giant fuck off shotgun that can blow someone's neck off.
We are not here to mess around. But Ben, I need to know, when does Timothy Dalton push 2 gay people off a boat with a bomb cake?
And he grabs one of their nuts and they go, ooh! In a really progressive, fine scene. Yeah. I like Benicio del Toro in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. I like to think it's the same character.
Yes, I can see it. I like to think that all films share a canon. Like the Avengers movies and Deliverance, same movie. Rocky 4 and Requiem for a Dream, same movie.
Even even the films that are set in like other worlds, or I like she's still dancing. That's a very 80s joke as well. That
Yeah.
like Barbara and the girls are like. Do-do-do-do.
I tell you,
The
I
girls
would-
are still like, "Hey, honey, looking for a good time."
I tell you, I'd like to see direct a Bond film at some point. Paul Verhoeven.
That'd be fun.
Mm.
Well, Paul Verhoeven, if we time travel to Paul Verhoeven, like then, when he was in his Imperial phase of RoboCop, Total Recall,
Oh yeah, I want an incredibly self-aware Bond.
Basic Instincts.
Mm.
I mean, only in films does that happen where the girls still dance.
Most of them would be like, "Fuck this," and then
Yeah. Only now when she wasn't freaking out when shotguns are being fired, but she does freak out when pool cues are being launched.
Ah!
Those are more deadly.
Snooker, my one weakness. So when does the Reflex by Duran Duran start playing?
I noticed a lot of Carlsberg placement going on.
They've also got a lot of Bush.
Well, that goes without saying.
No! Oh wait, no, she's actually all right.
You've killed. Like he's not got a name yet. No, you've killed. Girl.
Look after my friend, she's dead.
That
Now that is a smile and all.
is his evil face.
Mm. Hey, it's not the first. Oh no, I'm not saying that. That's gross.
I mean, if imagine Bond, if you actually wore one of those things once, just once, like one time.
Hey, it's not the first time this week that a man has shot something on my back.
Gross sex.
That's. I feel unclean now. I'm gonna go
Coming.
and out of a cock. I pushed a man into space.
I like her as a Bond girl. She's got sass.
I like that.
She don't take shit.
I once stopped a Nazi shaking dynamite out of a blimp above San Francisco.
That was last week.
That was 3 days ago.
I can still hear that sound in my head. I bet you will, you dirty old bastard.
I'll say this.
Heard that one before.
Moore's Bond wouldn't pay.
Moore's Bond would just go home.
Yeah, have some Horlicks.
He'd go to that Istanbul mission that Emma's trying to send him on.
Yeah. At least then he gets to, maybe wear some nice white suits and wander around a bit.
You're making me laugh while I'm full of cheese. Not good.
4.
Right, this isn't Bargain Hunt, all right. David Dickinson in the corner.
Cheapest chips. No deal. Swap my...
Bond has secured the mission for Pam for just over £275.
I want to swap my box.
Is that what she calls it these days?
It is. I'm very surprised Noel Edmonds hasn't turned up in a Bond film yet.
You're surprised? Okay.
I'm surprised Steve Coogan hasn't turned up in a Bond film yet.
Horn blowing. Yeah, I bet it is. Sex.
Sex.
Coming.
Looks like you've got the horn. Yeah, Moore would have done that one.
Oh, definitely.
Especially if he was allowed to and it was a 15. Meanwhile,
Like
in
even-
not London.
Yeah, that's not London. And all this stuff was filmed in Mexico.
Did they use what's the director's name again? John
Glenn.
Did they use his Mexican
His non-union Mexican equivalent.
Yes.
Listen, Glenn Bergo.
See.
And this is also her last appearance as Moneypenny. Feels like we just met her.
We did. Like, we only saw her for 5 minutes in the last film.
She's already going out of it now.
Bye.
Because this is the only time she gets to do like a classic Moneypenny behind the desk shot.
I thought I misread that for a second. I thought it said man on IPA. And I was just thinking...
Welcome to Mexico, Andre. This is where the party starts, man, I'm telling you.
Viva España, taking the customer of a plane. Very grand sets.
Well, yeah.
Although they're not.
That's not a set. That's my living room.
They're not 60s Bond grand though. You know what I mean? You don't see the ceiling in these ones.
I don't think they had the money to get Ken Adam in to build a gigantic warehouse room.
We have the budget for one Ken Adam set. Let's make it the Shark Tank.
Yeah, you can tell that money's a bit of a concern this time.
It's a little light on the ground.
Yeah, it's a little cheapy compared to the others, but you know, you could argue that this film kind of makes that work to its advantage by doing a more low key kind of story.
Well, that's rather sexist, Bond. It's 1990. The Spice Girls are only 5 years away.
The what girls? Spicy.
I like them all. I've got every album.
I like the girl one.
I'm giving you everything.
But Bond doesn't like the Spice Girls. Remember, he tried to like kill them.
Oh,
when he was stroking his white cat and
Yes.
talking to Richard E. Grant, plotting in scenes which don't really make a lot of sense when you think about them. But
it does make it a canon Bond film. So
doesn't really get a cool car in this one, does he?
no, I was going to say that's another thing that's missing from this. Really,
Gets a bike.
there's a few things that are missing. Tory Cunt being gone is a real shame.
What would he have done?
Give Bond the license to kill immediately.
Does he just do the opposite of everything Bond wants?
Yes. You really hate me, don't you? No, I love you.
I love you. Bond's main weapon is reverse psychology.
Yes.
That's more powerful than a gun any day. Than a Walther.
You're going to shoot me, aren't you? No, don't.
And of course we get our classic 80s archetype, coked up yuppie,
Yay.
who's always wearing suits and talking about investments and deals and always having a briefcase.
Yes. He also really enjoys watching the show Big Break. He's a big Jim Davison fan.
I think Bond's forgot about his revenge mission. He's just enjoying sitting around amongst piles of money.
I mean, I would.
I mean, he's just lost his job, don't forget.
Wish if I lost my job, I could go and sit in big rooms full of piles of money.
Piles of money while people go, Senor, is this the wine sufficient for you?
Occasionally offer me drugs and holidays to Mexico. I'd be game for that. I think this drug running job's pretty easy, let's be honest.
Like the whole thing is like Bond trying to infiltrate Sanchez's gang. Like after a while, he's like, actually, you know what? It's not bad.
It's actually pretty good. I mean, I don't have to deal with Tory Cunt. M's not here.
Yeah.
I could even probably, with a bit of sweet talking, get Q on board.
All the cocaine I want, all the women I want, all the wine, all the money.
Power.
Yeah.
And I also get to lead a creepy Scientology cult.
I think this is more based on like Christian like
televangelism.
Pat Robertson 700 Club type. Jesus is with us all. All you gotta do is put $1 in the box. That's right. Put $1 in the box. $1 for Jesus. Come on, ladies, don't be shy. $1.
$1 is the lowest you can give, but you can go higher. Give $2.
Every prayer is worth $1.
Save a friend.
He was the guy. Wayne Newton is called, who's playing the televangelist man. He was like some Vegas performer, and he's another one who like lobbied to be in a Bond film. And they cast him well, to be fair.
Right.
So he's like a sleazy Vegas performer. You can play a sleazy
televangelist,
a sleazy con artist, man.
Do you reckon if we started our own lobbying campaign, we could get into the next Bond film?
Probably,
because we've done all the commentaries now, nearly. So,
well, yeah. I mean, I should be in a Bond film. I've talked about them.
We've sat through all the Bond films. We've sat through all of the knockoff Bond
You've not
films.
sat through them all.
Well, we've not. We've nearly done
Not yet.
commentaries for them all. We've got a little bit left to go.
I've sat through them all multiple times.
You haven't, because you haven't sat through the other two Weng Weng movies with Agent 00.
They don't. They're sort of vague about what his like religious, like philosophical leanings actually are. They just, which would make sense. They probably just don't want to be like, oh, we don't want to piss off all the crazy Christians.
Yeah.
Send us nail bombs or whatever. So they make it deliberately vague. Like they don't overtly say he's a televangelist, but that's what he is.
Yeah.
It's anyone can see it's obvious. But I like how you got Scientology vibes from him. I'm getting that too. Like, and don't worry, $20,000 keeps Xeno away.
Your thetan levels will increase with every dollar.
Bond's like, oh, not bad. I've been reading that Dianetics. That Elrond sounds like a good bunch of lads.
Is it true he's got everybody's data in a bank in the bottom of the basement in a garden near a shed?
My kind of guy.
I like him.
I like the cut of his jib.
The whole film now just plays as normal. And then at the very end, Q just turns around and goes, I want to do Scientology. And then it ends. For your eyes only. Don't know why that one plays. It just does.
It ends with a shot-for-shot remake of that infamous Tom Cruise interview where he's talking about Scientology and he sounds bonkers. It's just that, but with Q.
Yes.
We are the protectors of the world. We are the protectors of the mind. When you're a Scientologist, you can drive by an accident, and you're the only one who can stop it. Well, I can, because I've got a magic accident stopping machine. Now pay attention, Bond.
I hope he feeds Jub Jub soon.
Everything is Q except for the laugh, which is just a Tom Cruise clip. Like, so it said, "Have you ever met an SP?" And then he claps because he's a fucking weirdo.
just replace all of Tom Cruise's interviews with Desmond Llewellyn.
Yeah, that'll work.
I'm in love with Katie Holmes.
Assaulting Oprah or whatever it is.
Running around a studio.
Joe, have you ever seen? You like bad things, don't you?
I love bad
You've
things.
seen Battlefield Earth.
I've seen many reviews of Battlefield Earth. I haven't actually seen Battlefield. I've seen Spoonie do.
Apparently, according to that, because I've read the book, the famous book about Scientology called Going Clear, which is like the expose on all the nasty stuff that they were doing. And it talks about how like Tom Cruise saw Battlefield Earth and he was really pissed off. He was like complaining to like the church and the leaders, being like, "This is so embarrassing. This makes Scientology look so terrible. We have to." He was like trying to get it like pulled from cinemas. Like, we have to stop this. We can't let this go out. He's like running around the scenes trying to like ensure it doesn't get seen.
Just buying every seat in every cinema. No, perhaps you better gamble some more money.
That's how it works.
Don't tell me what to do.
I'm not keen on her performance, I'll be honest. I think she's a little wooden, to be honest. She's not like you've got I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name because I know you're listening. Kerry Lowell,
Something like that.
Lowell, who plays Pam Bouvier, who's just like giving it lots of energy and sass and like, coolness, and then you've got her just like, "No, you should get out of here.
Go
Sanchez
down.
will kill you."
This is the end.
Yeah.
That's one thing though I do quite like about
This
this.
might be the only time we see a Bond girl get to partake in the vodka martini.
I was going to say that's one of the few things actually I do quite like about this film that is a bit different from the other Bond films, which is that the Bond ladies actually get to kind of like meet and talk to each other and almost fight over James's affection, which
Oh yeah,
really...
I mean there is that scene later on. I know which you mean, where she's like the Spanish lady. It's like I love James so much, and then she leaves and Pam's like, "I love James so much." Yeah.
Gonna kill her. I've got a what is it? A Stinger missile in my back of my car. Her name's on it.
Yeah. It's all right. She ends up copping off with the El Presidente or whoever.
Viva El Presidente! There you go, Jub Jub. You rest settled.
You rest easy, Gex.
Mm.
It's tail time. Gex wore a suit. Bond wears suits.
Gex is Bond.
Gex sometimes took place in rooms. The scene's taking place in a room.
Gex has puns. Bond
has puns. Yeah. Well, actually, Gex doesn't really have puns so much as references.
Gex references
This place
Bond.
is bigger than Oliver Reed's bar tab.
Gex
I only know anyone who cares to be interested. I only know the British version of Gex with the British references. When he's like, to be backstage at a Spice Girls concert, or he'll say something like, "This was like an episode of Supermarket Sweep." It's all about British Gex, voiced by Leslie Phillips from Hitchhiker's Guide and other things, who I just found out is still alive.
Wow.
Which is amazing.
That is quite amazing.
Look at Tim Dalton's hair. I have no comment. Just look at his hair.
It's pointy.
It's not. That's the thing. It's not pointy. There's a lot of gel in that hair.
It looks like an egg. His head looks like an egg.
All Sanchez has to do is light a fag, and Bond's dead.
Yeah. Just
instant immolation, just like the end of this film. Weirdly enough.
Yeah. It's all cyclical. There's all narratives. Get Joe Rogan in here.
It's like poetry. They rhyme. Senior Bond, you've got big testicles. Can't say that word normally. All this cool South American drug lordness drops. Mr. Bond, you have big testicles.
It's overdubbed by like Richard Ayoade.
I'm afraid, Mr. Bond, I can't say the word testicles properly.
My accent, it allows me to speak in this voice, but the moment I say testicles.
Testicles.
He runs so quickly for a man with such large testicles.
Testicles, spectacles, wallet, watch.
He gave him the old stink palm.
I'll check him out, all right.
He says he can't say the word testicles.
Can't say the word testicles, and he's got Gex as a pet.
All in all, I think he's a pretty righteous dude. I'm going to
He's got
start work
Gex
with
as a
him
pet,
Monday.
a cool accent, and a girlfriend who can't act.
All in all, I think he's a pretty sound guy.
I thought, oh no, that's the guy who trails him later. I thought they were going to do like he stole that guy's limo.
Yeah. You put my uncle in my what? Who are you?
A monkey's what?
I'll kill you. I'll kill all of you.
What if it was actually his uncle?
Yes.
He's like Uncle Leland in Seinfeld. Jimmy!
Terry.
So good to see you! What are you doing?
Terry Bond just turns like, yeah, right. Oh, you bought yourself a bird home.
He sat on the bed with a bag of Revels and a pint of John Smith's.
Yes. He weighs 24 stone.
Why can't you get UK Gold on this telly?
Because it's 1989, satellite television hasn't taken off yet.
What?
Anyway, let's go down pub.
This film has a lot of similarities with the Only Fools and Horses television special, Miami Twice.
Oh, my favourite Only Fools and
They go
Horses
to
special.
South America in that.
Yeah.
And Dell meets a drug lord.
Who looks like him.
Yeah.
I think it has more similarities with the Jolly Boys outing, personally.
Speaking of Jolly Boys...
Well, he's dead. That's...
Can we both agree that, as fun as cuddly old Uncle Q is, he really does not belong in this world.
No.
That this film has created.
No, he doesn't.
He's just like a bolt from the...
It'd be a bit like putting Winnie the Pooh in a Saw movie. But, like, not scary. Just, like...
Because, like, the meaning of surrealism, right, is the act of putting something that incongruous where it does not belong.
Yes.
Right, so, like, a telephone in a washing up bowl, that's surreal.
Yes.
So, like, an old crazy man in a Miami Vice film.
with a suitcase full of weird inventions.
He's not even been here 20 seconds and he's already doing the now pay attention Bond bit.
2 of the inventions he showed there, we don't see ever again.
He uses the blow-uppy toothpaste.
He doesn't use the explodey alarm clock, though.
Was he like gonna go into Sam Sanchez's bed while he's dreaming? Oh, testicles. Oh.
You just swap out his digital 80s cocaine alarm clock for this 1970s.
What's a cocaine alarm clock?
It's one of those ones that makes a really loud, noisy buzzing sound when it goes off, like it's screaming at you almost.
It wakes you up and going, oh fuck, get up now, quick! Oh mate, get up now,
now. If you hit snooze, it just doesn't work. You go, fuck that, no, now.
Q should have been sacked, really.
Yeah,
Q is basically working with a terrorist.
Yes.
That's what he's doing. He's supplying a terrorist with arms.
Yes, he is. But that being said, the British government does have a real habit.
He's Vladimir Putin.
The British government does have a real habit with funding terrorists with arms, let's be honest. In some cases, we can't even help it. I love the fact
Q
that
took a picture of a King Crimson LP cover.
I was just about to say, Q seems to have invented the things, the They Live glasses, about 10 years late.
It should have. I'll just let this gag play out because it's good. It should have just been like a full 20-minute scene of like the heads up in the quilts.
Yes.
They're just like, Sir Bond, do you have a dream? Something like a late night boys conversation.
Q's just there sort of looking quite dreamily, and Bond's there just looking really grumpy.
Bond's grumpy and unhappy and miserable. Q's just like, you ever wondered if there's life on other planets, Bond?
I invented a telescope that could see other planets once.
Yeah.
Didn't work.
Do you ever wonder, Bond? Do you ever wonder? Do you ever dream?
Do you
ever want?
Do you ever consider what the future may hold, Bond?
I mean, I've been doing this now for 90 years. I'm fucked, Bond.
I just keep putting bombs in things, so I'll be honest with you. Look, even this pillow has a bomb he throws out the window to explode.
He's still talking.
Yeah.
I've caused so much death, Bond. My hands, these hands, they are responsible for the deaths of thousands, Bond.
And now I am death.
Thousands.
The bringer of
I am
destruction.
the destroyer of worlds.
It just cuts back to HQ. You know, Q's never been right since his air balloon crashed.
Q, we need to put Q away for a while. We need to put him into a home. He's becoming senile. He's losing the plot.
Now,
They'll put him in a home. We'll put him in a home when no one will believe his crazy stories. I was in a hot air balloon once and I hung out with a load of belly dancers. Did you, Mister? Very nice. Very nice. Now, time for your medication. Very nice.
Senility.
I went to Las Vegas once and used a magic machine to con all the money out of the machines. And then I went to South America with my best friend James Bond. And we blew up a baddie with exploding toothpaste.
I went to Egypt and I destroyed thousands of pounds worth of priceless artifacts by shooting at them.
And I'd do it again. I'd do it tomorrow.
His senility manifests itself by him breaking the fourth wall. So he'll be sat in a care home somewhere and he'll just go, oh look, it's Remington Steele.
The staff have just learned to just nod and be like, yes, Mr. Q. Very nice.
No, you don't understand. We're trapped in film.
Everything is a lie. Nothing is real.
I am an actor. My name is Desmond Llewellyn.
Got very psychedelic.
The nurse is just pushing the panic button on like jabbing it
There
really.
is no yesterday. There is no tomorrow. There is only now.
There is only 25 frames a second. I invented a machine once that made 26 frames. The film broke.
I'm an egg.
So do you reckon they just made this scene so that they could put Dalton in a tuxedo because he hadn't been in a tuxedo yet?
Well, no, he was in a tuxedo in Living Daylight.
Oh shit, yeah, he went the opera, didn't he?
Yeah, he went the opera. That was the name of the film. A Night at the Opera.
And Octopussy was alternatively titled A Day at the Races, so... I hear these things are bad for your health.
I know these were bad for your health, but this is ridiculous.
Do 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 do.
Smoke.
I thought you were going to start Deep Purple for a second.
I think this has a big ass anti-smoking warning at the end of the film.
It does, yes. There's a big label on it saying, despite the depictions in
Please
this
don't
film,
do this cool thing
you will die.
that we've been showing you how cool it is.
I noticed they put a warning up for smoking, not for cocaine use.
That seems not realistic. Q can't drive a car.
Nah. He does seem at his absolute happiest when he's a chauffeur.
I like to think Q lost his license many years ago through reckless, dangerous behaviour.
He customised his car to explode on contact. As soon as a burglar
That's 2 points off.
Yeah. A burglar tries to break in, the burglar explodes. That was when we ended up with a hot air balloon.
If it exists, I can make it explode.
That's how we ended up with the hot air balloon. They basically said you can't drive again, and he went, I'll show you.
He has to walk to work every morning. He has to get on the tube.
He was like, walk, fuck that shit. I'm not getting a bicycle. Buy a hot air balloon.
That's the future.
We shall all be travelling by pure kerosene.
He says this at the end of like every scene coming up now. Bye, Q. Thanks for all you've done. Go away now. And Q doesn't listen because he's crazy and old.
But I'm your private dancer. I dance for money.
Q's sat there in the car. I wonder why. He's the greatest dancer.
He's just singing other Bond themes.
Because he's become aware of his own metafiction.
Yes. With a view to a kill.
I think Desmond Llewellyn said this was his favourite one because he got paid serious money for it.
Oh, wow.
As opposed to the others.
Blimey. Well, he does have a very good role in this.
Which makes sense because in the others he only turns up for like one scene at a time. So, but in this one he's in like a good chunk of it. So.
Oh yeah.
He would have got a little pay rise.
That's good. I'm glad he did. He deserves it probably. I imagine was he a nice man in real life? Is there any accounts of people meeting Desmond Llewellyn?
I know. I've never heard stories of him being a not nice man. Yeah, sure.
I'm glad of that.
Yeah. But yeah, of all the films to put Q in a prominent role.
I mean, I for one am just glad that he at least makes it into the '90s Bond films. Let's be completely honest.
Yeah, I'm just glad he's in this film at least he's still standing.
Because to be honest, he is 128 years old at this point.
Making toothpaste guns
and
or whatever.
Well, he's moved on from jam trousers. That's seen as old hat. No. 28 takes it took him. He kept getting the emphasis wrong.
It means I'm going to kill you. That's what that phrase meant. El Presidente.
Viva El Presidente! Sorry, every time you say that, I have to say that. That's just how it works. Ah! Killer.
The dirty bitch.
I was going to sleep with her. Oh, Bond did a swear.
He said a naughty word.
Bond doesn't swear.
He just called Sanchez an idiot.
Yeah.
He just said, watch the birdie, you fool.
And now for some reason ninjas.
You big fool.
Never really explain why the ninjas are
there. It's the magic gun that has only his DNA, which they bring back in one of the Daniel Craig films.
Oh, brilliant.
The DNA gun or whatever it is.
I really hope that the Daniel Craig...
Oh, these are like the MI6 people, aren't they? Why are they ninjas?
Yeah, that was what I was saying. I don't understand. And now, for some reason, ninjas.
And now, that was the direction in the script. Bond is on the roof, he has blown up the window, and now ninjas.
And now, ninjas.
And then just like, cut to this scene.
Just as I thought. Who would have a signature gun? James Bond.
Hello, it's me, Fraser's brother.
Surely they would just go, Q. Q would have a signature gun.
He said another naughty word. He told that guy, pee off.
I my estimations of Uncle Timbo are going downhill very quickly.
He said another naughty word. This film is not suitable.
I disapprove.
This earns the rating.
Now I completely understand why Roger wanted no part in this franchise. What is he doing, sailors?
He said you were a loose cannon. That's the other thing you have to do in 80s films. Bond, you're a loose cannon. You're too close to this case.
I'm taking you off the case. Hand in your badge and miniature donut collection. Oh no, he's got a bit of arm off. Total damage, £50.
By the way, who are we?
I am wondering
why have we been introduced into the film now?
Nearly an hour and 31 minutes in to this 2-hour 13 film.
We're bored of drug lords now. We want to do the Man with the Golden Gun again.
Yeah, it turns out I've actually swapped the disc, and this is American Ninja 5.
I reached for my drink and then you just swapped the disc just then.
Yeah, that was quick. I was like a whippet. I mean, you could look at this and look at some of latter-day Canon Golan Globus output, and the overlap is...
Bond basically usurps Gain Sanchez's trust by total accident.
Yes.
Because he assumes that Bond was, like, trying to kill these guys. But that wasn't Bond's plan.
No.
Bond's plan was to blow Sanchez up with toothpaste.
And swear a lot. And possibly shag about if he could.
But they didn't have Dalton do a lot of shagging because of AIDS.
Oh.
That's true.
Could they not have him rap Mini Bond?
Rap as Bond?
Yeah. You know, you could have him... Actually, that's perfect. You could have him say, well, I normally prefer a Bollinger, but tonight I'm using Magnum.
I thought you meant do a rap as in, like, a rap song.
No, I meant wrap his cock with a condom.
Oh.
To avoid the AIDS.
I completely
What?
Cut to Bond playing LSD Dream Emulator for the PS1. Sanchez has an advanced copy.
Can we freeze frame that fish head? I want that as my new channel art. That's just the whole thing.
That's the villain of the piece. Sanchez is just a puppet.
Yeah, he's all up to Fishman.
It's all up to Fishman.
Yes. Wow.
That was the sound
of a well-enjoyed meal. Welcome to Fantasy Island.
Yeah. I can smell cocaine.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Literally smell it.
You know, the original soundtrack actually came with, like, a gram bag.
Like, everything just, like, pure white. Bright pink shirt.
I saw something the other day that was born of the 80s that I really actually quite like the aesthetic of. Have you ever seen poured concrete bathrooms?
No.
Basically, it's where you pour concrete into a room, a normal square box room, and then using tools, you quickly shape...
Oh, hang on, sorry. Is this where his Welsh comes out?
Yes.
Hang on. Nasty!
So nasty.
Sanchez should have killed him right then and there. Blew his cover.
Hang on, you're not English? Shit. Yeah, they pour a load of concrete into a normal room and then they have to quickly shape the bathroom out of the concrete and then it dries. So, like, you sort of sink the floor to make a bath and you can, like, build the sink out of the concrete that comes out of the wall. And it just looks like the entire room is just kind of, like, dripped into shape. It's a really odd aesthetic, but I quite like it.
It sounds nauseating.
It is.
As if it would be as a nauseating thing to experience.
It's very Cronenbergian. It feels a bit organic, but in an uncomfortable way.
It's like a lager?
Yeah. Yeah.
That sounds alright. I like how this sort of... It's quite an original thing for a Bond film as well. Like, instead of him and the villain having a sort of Bugs Bunny fight across the whole film, back
Yeah.
and forth. He's sort of like infiltrating the villain's trust, his organization. He's like playing him off against his own men.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
he's playing a long game.
It's another thing that isn't traditional to the Bond films, because like you say, normally it's either their side, our side, or Wacky World,
Yeah, pretty much.
and that's it, really.
And stay here, enjoy my shirt.
It's pure cocaine. Here, try my Travelator. It only goes up 6 steps.
I have purchased a Disneyland monorail.
It's a series of underground tunnels that link me directly to all the major theme parks in America.
Today, Chessington World of Adventures. Tomorrow, the world.
Tomorrow, Alton Towers. The next day, Gulliver's Kingdom.
The day after that, Legoland.
Then, Cadbury World.
That's not really a theme park. That's more of a guided tour of the factory, but still.
There are rides.
There's our ride.
There's a ride.
Whoa, look at the size of that telly.
Look at those balls.
I've been looking at them all day, Dan.
Sorry, testicles. That is a pretty impressive television set for 1989.
Dan's hard looking at that television.
That is like a 29-inch, 30-inch set.
Dan wants that television more than the lady.
I want that television more than that lady. And I want to put it in this room and watch Blu-ray quality Bond on it.
You'll hook up your VHS player the first chance you get.
Yes. And I will make passionate
That
love
was
to
an
it.
amazing plan. I call it Handbag Gets Caught on Foot. Operation Handbag Get Caught on Foot.
Top tier acting. She has the range. She simply has the range.
I'm going shopping. I won't be long.
Bye.
Beep it. That's sucky. You had to get on a boat every time you went to go shopping. Bond's not going to get in the boat at any point.
Why has he got the little light glasses on?
There's no reason. There's no. That's why she's smoking. She's had enough of him.
She spent 6
She's
hours
like,
with him.
Bond, you left me in the room. You left me in the car, basically, with this bloke.
He's said such horrible things to me.
He hasn't shut up.
Oh my god, what did he do to you? He just kept talking about jam trousers. I don't even know what those are.
I think he's senile. I don't think he knows what day it is.
He kept referring to Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher. He said he knew her personally.
It cuts. What are you talking about? Q's in perfect health. Look, they go back in. He's like, his head's covered in shaving foam. He's like, do you two mind? I have a very important meeting today. La-di-da-di-da.
He's cut a ping pong ball in half and drawn eyes on them, put them in his own eyes, so he looks like he's
I'm a monster man. Ah! They just slowly back into the other room.
Okay, maybe you have a point. Of course, the main reason why Uncle Timbo chose to work in Mexico was because they don't have any spiders.
Is that a provable fact? There are no spiders in Mexico. I'd imagine there were at least, like a couple.
No, they had the Great Spider Migration of 1876.
No, I'm going to now edit the Wikipedia article to state that Mexico has the only country in the world that has a 0 spider population.
But mate...
Q, get the bags. That's why you're here.
But mate, you see, reason why there's no spiders, mate, in Mexico, mate, is because, mate, too hot for spiders, mate.
That's why Q's here. Q, get the bags.
With pleasure.
I love being a slave.
It's great. It's great. I
gave him my cushy civil servant job for a life of servitude.
I only get beaten 3 times a day. That's 4 times less than when M used to.
Q's like Dana Carvey. He's like the master of disguise.
What the bloody hell is going on here, right? Q has a boat license. He can fly a hot air balloon. He can drive.
He's the master of disguise. He's Dana Carvey.
Yeah.
He's Mustachio Disguisey or whatever he's called.
Yeah. He's channeling his Robert Shaw for this scene. Bond, have you ever heard of the SS Indianapolis?
There's never a scene like a direct confrontation between Q and Sanchez. That would have been good.
That would have been amazing. I like to think it's the thing we could have had.
Because Q's very, very old. He's like, Bond, look out! We have to get that. Whoa!
Whoa! Q, bad touch. Bad touch. What? That's what we always called him.
That's what me and you used to call him, Bond. This is in front of Sanchez. Remember, Bond? We used to call him that all the time, didn't we, Bond? Remember, me and you, Bond.
Together. In fact, you said it more than me.
In the pub.
Yes.
You said it. We laughed together.
Yes. And that wasn't all you said.
You said other things.
Yes.
Lots of things. Do you know what you said? I'll say them.
Ooh, redacted.
Q's not sussed out that part of spying involves lying about things occasionally.
Yeah. Do you know where Bond is? Yes. I mean, no.
Can I start again? No. Oh.
Can I at least have my spy hat back? No.
But it's mine.
It's mine now.
Oh, I dropped. Q.
Oh, hello. Never mind.
Tits.
Testicles.
Still love the idea that that's what Bond, like, because we never see Bond have sex.
No.
Like, I still love the idea that that's just what he's like a little boy. Can I ever go on your boobs?
Boobs.
Your boobies. Oh, we're coming up to Headsplody now, aren't we?
I think we are, yes. Yeah. It's a little bit later on, but it's around this point. Don't know why I went Scottish for that, but...
You sounded like Tim Dalton then.
Oh, thank you.
Things turn nasty.
Nasty.
Maybe he should have just done what Sean Connery did and just use his real accent. Died. No, as in like... Oh, this is the bit I was on about before. Because like you would, if you were to describe Bond's antics, you'd sound like a crazy person or a lying person. But you know what I meant is like Sean Connery just spoke Scottish, even though in his Scottish brogue voice, even though he's meant to be English. Tim Dalton should have just done that.
Oh yeah, I mean Bond.
And I think that I think Pierce Brosnan should have just stuck to his normal Irish voice, like he did in Taffin.
Oh yeah.
We'll have to watch that at some point.
Yes, that'll be on the list. That's another one I need to. I've had a bit of a Ken Russell kick of late. I need to watch Altered States again at some point.
I should have waited until GoldenEye to talk about Taffin, but that's the one with the meme. Have you heard the meme
with Shouty Brosnan.
And then you shouldn't be living here.
Yeah. Shouty Brosnan.
Yeah, Adam and Joe used to play that on their radio show all the time. Whenever they were talking about anything vaguely to do with either Bond or like Pierce Brosnan or Ireland, just play the clip of "Then maybe you shouldn't be living here."
Can I be a spy yet?
No. Q, your job is to watch the bags.
He turns around, the bags are gone. Oh no.
Q, you had literally one job. You didn't even have one job, you had half a job.
They were here a minute ago. I swear.
He's like your dad, no, I mean your specific dad, but I mean like your dad or mum at a theme park.
Yes. Here, watch these bags. I'm going to go on Oblivion.
I don't mean your specifically dad, I mean like the universal your...
The universal your dad.
Yeah.
Here we go.
This will probably not shock you that the BBFC had a bit of a problem with this scene either.
In the original cut, it was actually 30 seconds longer and had multicam inside the thing as it exploded.
You're not even wrong.
Oh.
It was apparently the original version of this scene was a lot worse than what and bear in mind, Dan, this is the version that has been like put back together again with previous cuts waived. But so you can imagine what the original work print when they actually shot the scene was like.
I would be very curious to see that.
It might exist in the MGM archive somewhere. You never know. This is a... Look at that.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
he always did have an inflated opinion of himself.
Oh! I guess the pressure finally got to him.
See, in Live and Let Die, when Kananga turned into a balloon, his blood didn't go everywhere. He literally blew up into fabric because he was actually a balloon.
And then the end credits to The Young Ones played as he flew away.
Yeah. But yeah, it's weird to think that there's like a version of that scene that exists somewhere in the archives that's a lot more video nasty. Video nasty.
Video nasty. Hey, he's got my hat.
He's got a nice hat, look.
Oh.
See, this is how every scene with Q in this film ends, with Bond going, "Thanks a lot, Q, now go, piss off.
Now go home.
Get the fuck out." And tell Moneypenny to fuck off as well, sending crazy old men out. I mean, she hears that I'm on a life-threatening mission, and what does she do? She sends Grandad out.
If I hang
Cheers,
around
Moneypenny. Well done.
If I hang around long enough, he'll find out. He'll see. He'll see I'm important. He'll see I'm helpful. Good old Q, they'll say. You've got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. I make jump trousers and fly effortlessly.
Why, I was just having it off the whole time.
The whole time.
With your bird.
Shagjaw misses, mate. Was it Larry the legs? Beaky the nose? Jumps Magoo?
Like, I like all this where it's just like, only one guy, just like planting the seeds of suspicion to the point where Sanchez is just going to tear everyone close to him apart. Look at the Wicker Man clock just above his bed.
Nice. Why has he got such creepy furniture?
Sanchez, why does all of your furniture have faces? It's like a Banjo-Kazooie game.
It is. I don't like it. Sometimes they talk. That snake's real.
Sometimes they talk. No, that's just the cocaine I've been slipping into your meals every night.
Is that true, Fishman? No. Fish thing.
You believe me, don't you, Fishman? Why, yes, Bond. Of course I do.
Why does he sound like Desmond Llewellyn?
Because you can't stop doing that voice now.
Yes. Now pay attention, Bond. I have turned myself into a fishman.
Yeah, you sound scared.
Yes. I am scared. What is going on? It's dark.
I don't want to go back. Can't we leave together? Me and you and your hairy chest.
I'll leave with you and your testicles. It's because Bond is massively racist.
Well, yes. That's been established.
Yes.
I got it from you, Q. I got it from watching you. Parents who use bugs have children.
Now pay attention, Bond. This is your brain.
Oh, look, I'm getting lots of screen time.
Yes, it's finally all paying off for good old Q.
This is the bit you were talking about.
Yes.
Where they have girl fight.
Mm.
It's very progressive. Girls only exist to fight over men.
Yeah. Surprisingly, this film
very progressive, very advanced.
Surprisingly, this film passes the Bechdel test. We were all as shocked as you were.
Somehow, don't ask us to show our working.
We won't. It's the only scene.
That's Q's reaction. That horny old cunt. I wonder if they realise that I have no inner monologue and that I can only say things out loud. I hope they didn't hear me say that. Hello.
I hope they didn't hear me say that either.
Look at her ass.
Four
lads.
Yes, lads.
Why is she looking at me like that?
Why is she staring at me? Crying. Still crying. Crying.
I like this.
Nah.
Get your hands off me, old man. Stop touching me.
You said a bad word. I'm telling Bond.
Q, please stop touching me. Please take your hands off me. I know.
I've changed my name, Bond. My new name is K.
He's like Desmond Llewellyn in this film is like Michael Richards in Whoops Apocalypse.
Yeah.
He's going around the world causing chaos.
just wearing various outfits. He's doing more espionage than Bond in this film, and that's. I mean, don't get me wrong. If Disney had owned the rights to Bond before now, I would have much appreciated a Q spin-off series. You could maybe make it a television event.
I think
or something.
I was saying this to my partner the other day. I think every studio, every company in the industry has owned Bond at some point. It's just been tossed around.
Oh yeah,
and jumped around, especially in the last 10 years or so, like a flaming sack of potatoes.
It's all right. There's not a lot of the companies left, so it'll eventually land with one and stay. So,
our limited company.
Yes. It'll probably end up being owned by, I don't know, Nabisco.
Hulu. Channel 5.
Yeah. Babe Station.
Olympic? Yeah, Olympic. Couldn't read that.
Meditation Institute.
Yeah. So like I say, they have him have a vaguely new agey. I think they want him to be more like a new age type guy, where it's like it's all about the inner you, release the inner potential in you through eating twigs and sticks and things.
The film just ends here, and it just turns into live footage of Waco.
The Waco siege with crazy drug man.
Yes. Do they put him in one of those centrifuge machines and make him Luke 65?
He turns into Popeye again.
Yes.
This is a progressive scene. They're all wearing masks.
Oh, brilliant! I feel actually more comfortable now.
I feel like a crazed, coked up yuppie.
Brilliant.
That is the fire talisman. Jackie uses that to shoot fire when him and Uncle are fighting Voldemort or wherever the dragon was called.
I think it was...
Shenzon. That's Power Rangers.
Yes.
Shenzu.
Shenmue. Shenmue sounds right.
Shenmue, that's a game.
Shenmue is a game.
Shenzhou?
Shenzhou,
Whatever.
I think. We'll go Shenzhou. Racism there on the comedy dining experience.
No, it's not. We just couldn't remember the main antagonist in the television show Jackie Chan Adventures.
The best series ever.
I don't know if that's what this says about me, but I literally, like, a few years ago, and I'm hitting my 30s. I only found out a few years ago that Jackie Chan didn't do his own voice in that cartoon.
What? But he did all the links.
As a kid, he did all the little links and all the little Q&As at the end. And it's like, hey, Jackie, where do you learn your cool moves? Or that stuff. But, like, I thought as a kid that he was doing his own voice.
I thought he'd do his own voice on his own bloody TV show.
He just put his name on it.
Imagine if they did the TYTD Dan Adventures and I got you to voice me.
They just put his name on it, and there you go.
Well, it's rare times that I appreciate Louis Anderson more than Jackie Chan. But at least he bothered to do Life with Louis.
They should do a live action. Jackie Chan's still alive, right?
Yeah.
They should do a live action adaptation of Jackie Chan Adventures.
What, with the now very, very old Jackie Chan?
He can still manage. He's a Superman.
He's 182 years old.
He's older than Q.
Yeah. I think he might actually be at this point. I don't think he's made a film in like 2 years.
Bond's keeping his mask on because he's very thoughtful about his fellow men.
He's progressive. This Bond's actually communist, so...
In the one film which has nothing to do with communists or Russia or anything like that.
He kept it low-key.
To be fair, by 89, I think everyone was over that shit.
Yeah.
But now it's coming back, baby.
Yeah! 80s revival.
80s revival, the threat of death.
Let me put my 12-inch copy of Two Tribes on. The one that has an extended extract from Protect and Survive.
This is my sleazy sex temple. I mean, my new age temple.
You know, I have a sexy learning disorder. I call it sexlexia.
Looks a bit like Bruce Campbell from certain angles.
I think they tried to get Bruce Campbell in a Bond film at one point, but they
should get him to be Bond.
Yeah.
Fuck it. I know Americans aren't allowed to play Bond, but fuck it. I'd watch that.
I'd watch that
Once.
Yeah. I mean, they wouldn't even. I think they did do an espionage film. I think they did one called My Name Is Bruce, where he plays Bruce Campbell, the actor, who gets sort of wrangled into FBI dealings.
No, I've seen that film. It's not a spy thing. My Name is Bruce is like a horror thing.
Oh.
Yeah, he gets like there's like a horror monster or like something in a small town. It's the only small town he can go to and no one recognises him.
When did you watch My Name is Bruce?
Ages ago.
Why did you watch My Name is Bruce? Even I haven't really gone round to properly watching that one.
I think my friend in college, who was a big Bruce Campbell fan, might have lent it to me.
Oh.
And I wasn't that impressed with it, to be honest.
No.
Um,
Do you like it? I call it my sex room.
Basically, is what it is. I mean, a giant room with just a bed and a window. And he appears to have a poster for a blaxploitation film.
Yes.
Just above his bed there.
Well, he's a big fan.
Secret. Well, it's it looks like a film poster.
It's his self-help guide. Secrets of Cole Porter. Ah.
Oh, a gun! You brought me a gun. I love guns.
My favourite. You could easily sell that for $200.
You shot the lady poster.
I don't think you're here to sex me at all.
My followers will skin you apart, or whatever. It's not really established what it is I do, or what this is,
or who I am.
or who I am.
I was a televangelist about an hour and a half ago.
Yeah, now I'm a cult leader, and then I'm somehow involved with an international drug deal and whatever. I have a moustache. It's fine.
Somehow it still makes more sense than A View to a Kill. So
it's okay. I have a moustache. It is fine.
And the world is rebalanced. Judo fire!
He used the power of Bunsen burners to distract.
Judo Bunsen.
We used to play with Bunsen burners in high school. This never happened.
Judo Bunsen was my high school nickname. You know, like you can have Fatty or.
Did you ever used to like? We used to piss about with Bunsen burners.
Oh yeah, we turned all the gas on in one room once and didn't realise that could kill you.
Yeah.
That was great.
Well, you obviously weren't listening in your science classes.
We were in year 7.
Yeah.
They hadn't given us the "don't turn the gas on because you can kill people" conversation yet. So we were just like, hey, this thing makes funny noises, let's turn them all on.
Benicio's got Bond sussed, he's grassed him up.
Oh no.
You ever seen Sicario?
No.
Brilliant film. It's directed by, I can never pronounce his name. He's done the new Dune, and he did the last Blade Runner film. Denis Villeneuve, Frenchman.
Ben, I've not seen a film since 2012.
Ben, I haven't seen a single film made since 2002.
Yeah.
The last film I went to see in the cinema was Spider-Man.
Not gonna take it no more. Yeah. No, the last film I went to see in the cinema was Jackass.
He plays
the movie, 1999.
He plays a Colombian drug lordy man in that as well.
Oh. It's a bit low key, given all the other Bond stuff that's happened over the last 2 or 3 films.
What's low key?
This
final act.
Yeah.
Well, we're about to get a big ass chase after this stuff with the conveyor belt.
And I mean, for me, for the best of both worlds, I think it would have been great if this had been the main plot of the film all the way through, but that the final act had been the fight in Afghanistan.
Right.
From Living Daylights. If you could take the ending of the Living Daylights and strap it onto this film.
Like he's well, to be fair, Dad, he that the last act of Living Daylights involved him doing a drug deal, and that could have easily thinking of this, couldn't it?
That's what I'm saying. Because that last act of the Living Daylights, you've got full blown civil war. You've got fighter planes flying through the sky and blowing up. You've got it's action packed, and this I feel is a little bit pedestrian compared to it.
I imagine, like I say, budget probably played a part.
Yeah.
After
Desmond Llewellyn crashed all those planes in the last film.
They only had the money to do so much.
Yeah. It's a bit like that unmade Muppet film where, as the film goes on, the budget gets lower and lower until by this point it's just storyboards.
Yeah.
And then it just becomes animatics. And then it's just nothing.
It's like the last episode of Evangelion.
Yeah. I'm surprised, actually thinking about it, that given how much money that series has made, that they haven't gone back and actually just done that last episode. I know that they've done the films.
The film is the last episode.
Well, no, but what I mean is, like, remade the actual episode 25, 26.
But that is what it is. I don't think actually animating it would serve much of a point, really.
Mm.
They told the end of the show they wanted to do with the film.
Yeah, that's true. They're all getting incredibly high.
Yes, it's a glorious death. I believe in the original work print there was more of this stuff too.
Oh, you actually saw him go through the other end.
Yeah, with Benicio being fucking ripped to shreds. Maybe not like Dario Argento levels of gore, but pretty heavy for a Bond film, I guess.
Oh yeah. Now there's a band who could do a good Bond score. Goblin.
Goblin. What would that be like?
I'd like to think it would be like the soundtrack to Tenebrae. It's very gothic, almost cathedral-esque sort of.
Yeah.
Do 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 do. With a nice synth poppy edge. Have the Rolling Stones killed?
That's what Bond films need. Synth pop.
Yes. This is why I know I'm no good to be the producer of a Bond film, because it would just
Are
be...
Goblins still going?
Yeah.
They're still doing stuff?
Yeah, Goblin are still knocking about. They still tour occasionally.
Oh.
They have a good roster. I'm looking...
I know, don't they do things like they'll do live accompaniments to the films they've scored?
Yeah, they quite recently, at least the last 5 years, did a greatest hits tour where they sort of just basically played all of their film music, and it was really good. I'm looking for a decent Goblin compilation vinyl, but I can't really find anything at the minute.
Even at this point, he can still make the puns.
He appears to be dead.
He came to a dead end then.
Ah!
For a minute, because we've been talking about bloody Q so much, I thought that Q would be the one driving the forklift.
Look what I did!
I've developed a taste for it now.
I can't stop. You're next.
Who are we killing next?
Gonna be you. But my portfolio is maturing. I need to get to the bank to take out all my money.
I need to get to the bank to do the stocks and the investments and the bonds.
I've bought low and now it's time to sell high.
Oh no, he's escaping the cults.
Oh, it would have been so much better if Q had turned up in the golf buggy and gone, I've got us a wheels! Get in!
Get your ass in here!
This baby goes up to 13! What a surreal image.
Bless your heart too, whoever you were.
There are a lot of aeroplanes in this movie.
Into the Xbox Live plane.
Boom.
XB locks, that's what it says on the side. There.
Xbox.
It's an Xbox plane.
There is a lot of planes in this.
They try and start it, but a red ring comes up and it just crashes. Boop, boop, boop.
They get up into the air and then the wings disappear. You must purchase DLC. Did you know?
If you want to shoot Sanchez in the face, it'll cost you $30 of your parents' credit card.
And you have to go through a loot crate. You know, it's 1989 and they still can't do back projection.
No. That might just be the nice shiny Blu-rayness bringing it out, though, because it's better back projection than what we got in Moonraker.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's better.
I'll say it now because I don't know when it happens, but I know it does happen. At one point when he's... There it is! Did you hear it?
Yeah, yeah.
The guns make the Bond theme.
Yeah.
Why not?
Oh, God, this is a fun film.
A few films ago, you were a bit befuddled by the use of Bond music in the Bond universe in a diegetic way.
Yes.
I'd say that was probably more confusing than a snake charmer playing it. It got played by guns.
Yeah, just... Is that
Do
like...
you think Bond, like, just then went, oh, that ricochet of bullets sounds familiar?
Note, pulls out a dictaphone. Note to self, when get home, write theme.
Okay, that back projection there is fucking shocking.
It's terrible, isn't it?
The first and only Bond film we get the appearance of La Bomba.
Amazing. You know, it's times like this I wonder what Greg Turkington thinks of this film.
Bond's thinking of his theme and then just right past. Oh, I've lost it now. Never mind. La La Bomba. Love that song.
He pulls the dictaphone out again. Consider options for La Bamba as general theme song.
Get phone number for Gypsy Kings. Not the dog. Not the pineapples. Oh, dog's fine.
No! Now we enter the exciting conclusion.
And now we enter what, by all accounts, was an absolutely miserable time for everyone involved.
Oh, yeah. Well, you've got to imagine it's 1,000,000 degrees Celsius.
This whole sequence with the trucks was like a film in itself.
Oh, God.
Tim Dalton nearly died. There's a point where he had to jump out of it. There's one shot where he has to jump out of one of the trucks, and the truck didn't stop when it was meant to.
Oh.
So if it had kept going, he'd have been careened off the cliff, basically.
Oh, Jesus.
So Tim Dalton nearly died. Everyone was passing out and dying from all the extreme heat. You can probably tell. And there's another thing happening, but I'll say that when it comes up. But yeah, apparently by all accounts, nobody had fun doing this. This looks good, just not very fun to do.
No. But I do enjoy the fact that this film sort of strikes the balance between serious Bond and silly Bond.
You know what? I was going to say this actually. Like when I watch this again, I in my mind, I don't watch this film very often. So in my mind, I had this image of a very dark, like dour take on, the whole thing. But it's actually, there are moments of levity and silliness.
Oh yeah.
And I'm just imagining as well, like it's like 50 odd degrees or whatever, like Mexican heat, and they're filming explosions. They're like launching fire everywhere.
I would go home.
Cubby Broccoli did.
I'd be done.
Because, like I said, his old lungs just couldn't handle it. I think that's why his daughter, Barbara Broccoli, ends up running the show from now on.
Yeah. Fuck that, not doing that again.
Yeah.
Hang on a minute, lads. I got a great idea.
And people thought... I think it might have been that bit just then. I think the truck actually started moving and it nearly knocked him off the cliff. Off the road. And he was really fucked off, which you would be, right?
Well, yeah, nearly dying is quite bad.
Oh yeah, and people said the road was haunted.
What, the actual road, or
yeah,
like what, the ghost of the road?
People said that they saw figures on the road and they go up to it. This is what people on the crew said, and I don't believe in ghosts, right? So I'm not saying this is what happened, but this is what they say happened. Oh,
that is an appropriate response to losing $32 million in cocaine. So
the crew were all getting spooked because they'd heard a story that there was like a famous incident on this road they were filming on where like a lot of like people died in a bus crash and a lot of. So when they filmed that bit just then with the truck crashing into the other truck, they were looking at a still photograph taken. I think you can see this. You can Google this photograph, or you can Google it if you want. But they said that it looked like a hand was coming out of the fire and pointing at where the people died.
Ah.
I know this sounds like the start of a creepypasta, but like I've seen this photo. I don't see a hand.
No.
I see a truck blowing up.
Yeah. I mean, maybe the fire is giving the illusion of a hand.
Like, what are they trying to say? That there's ghosts in the fire.
Fire ghosts.
Fire ghosts. Maybe that was they were just brainstorming for the next Bond film. Maybe.
Gets the
Bond fights fire ghosts.
Idea for kids' TV show: Fire Ghosts.
But yeah, so
Is this where Timothy Dalton gets out of the truck and turns into a liquid metal man?
Yes.
Brilliant.
My personal theory is that everyone was just very tired and stressed and hot.
Yes.
And they were probably just like coming up with any old like
Bond,
letting
transform and roll out.
letting any old paranoid thought or thing just like take hold, like you do when you're tired and you're not really processing shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear it.
Like when you get up in the night and you look at like your dressing gown hung up on the door, and for a split tiny second you think, "There's a man at the door."
Yes.
Which I do all the time.
I've had that before. Outside here.
Everyone in life has done that at least once.
Outside here, there's a big wooden fence panel, and I looked out at it a few years ago, and I swear I saw a bloke in a hockey mask just sort of popping up over the fence.
You saw Jason.
It was a cat. It was a black and white cat.
Dan, were you watching a lot of Friday the 13th films around this time?
No, I was purely on sheer pornography for the entire duration.
I don't know what's worse.
I know. Because those Friday the 13th films are rough. Whoopsie doopsie.
This is a good version of the Bond theme, but what it needs is to be played by bullets.
Yes. No, what this needs is the composer.
In a way, that little sequence sums the film up. The Bond theme played by bullets. Sorry, what this film needs is...
the composer from Rocky IV.
It's Bill Conti back in.
Yes.
Is Bill Conti still available? He's going cheap.
He says he'll do the entire film and he'll write a couple of songs for the soundtrack. Great, we're in.
He'll get James Brown in, it'll be great.
Amazing. Actually, speaking of which,
yeah!
it's funny you mentioned. It's funny you mentioned that because today I actually got.
Look at that!
Oh wow!
That is a stunt and a half.
That is.
They threw a flaming truck off a cliff with a plane. That's great. And he exclaimed in Spanish.
I'm going to write an angry letter to United Artists. I paid for a film to be delivered in English.
This film wasn't even made in England.
No. It's all right, they compensate. The next film was entirely shot in Slough. No, I was going to say, it's funny that you mentioned Bill Conti for James Brown, because I actually got today on vinyl the Rocky IV soundtrack.
I saw it.
Over there, freshly delivered today, ready to go. Somebody's cut a picture out the back of it.
What, do you know what the picture was?
I think it might be Rocky.
They're really into Rocky IV, just not Sylvester Stallone for some reason.
They cut him out.
They make the Rocky films a bit of a difficult watch.
But they kept him on the front cover.
Yeah.
Just cut him off the back. Didn't like the pictures of Little Rocky. Oh, there goes that DLC.
Oh yeah, and like people were saying, like going back to the ghost story, that they'd go up to figures on the road and then the figures would disappear.
Oh, spooky ghost! Yay!
Spooky ghosts. That's the only explanation.
Spooky ghost time.
And not heat stroke.
And not hallucinations due to stress.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that this isn't death-defying, but it's just a bit underwhelming when you consider the last film had them literally fighting on a cargo plane.
Well, I suppose that you could also say that because this film is more of a personal, like Sanchez isn't trying to take over the world. His plan, quote plan, isn't really the point of going after him. It's more of a personal mission for Bond as a character.
True.
Which again is quite cool because it's quite different to what we've seen before. This is probably the first time in any of these where Bond has been personally motivated. Like even in Diamonds Are Forever, when he was going after the guy who just killed his wife, he didn't really seem to give too much of a shit.
No. No.
But in this film, it's the whole thing it's a personal...
I was going to say, actually, I can't remember. I only watched this for the first time last night, and I still can't remember. Does Bond actually get his license back at the end?
Yes, he does.
Oh, I just so I remember.
You don't... Because in a minute, actually.
Yay!
Yeah. Ah! Imagine being that stuntman as well. Like, set yourself on fire in this. God. Crazy. Because he's on the phone to Felix, and Felix is like, M called, I think he just got a job for you. So it's implied that it's all fine. Hit the reset button.
Oh.
It's all good. You know, this always used to shock me. ITV would put this on in the middle of the day.
What?
I swear this is true. I walked in to my grand's house once, and she was flicking through the channels, and she put ITV on, and they were showing License to Kill.
Uncut?
I only saw this final sequence, so I couldn't tell you if they left in head explode. I couldn't tell you if they left in shark bitey, but I know for a fact that sequence with Sanchez on fire, they left that in.
Wow.
And my gran was like, "This is a bit," like her exact words were something like, "Oh, this is a bit much."
Bit near the knuckle for.
It's like, yeah, they're putting a 15 film on it, like 1 p.m.
It's because all of the ITV BT people are pissed and just load up whatever's on. Hey, the Bond film. This one.
Oh, that's true. Like they probably there you go.
So
yeah, he does get it back.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what you're probably right. Like they probably just go like, oh, it's Bond. Easy thing to put on, no effort.
They're all fine.
Yeah. Well, they always used to put on the Brosnan films would always be late evening night.
Yeah.
And anything before that would always be mid-afternoon.
Mm.
So they knew that the Brosnan films would have more intense parts, but this they just assumed it was fine.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Maybe they did the TV edit like what they did with Joe Pesci. You know.
What in Casino when he's like, you monkey screwer or whatever.
Yeah.
The bit where he's with De Niro in the desert and he's like, you joopy monkey screwer Billy Bubby, or like Big Lebowski.
Yeah.
This is what happens when you find a stranger in the Alps.
You know, so Bond's like, watch the birdie, you bar stool.
Watch the birdie, you poo head.
You testicles. Oh.
Do you remember that? And they don't do that anymore, thankfully. Edit films for if they've sussed out now that maybe if there's a film too violent, just don't put it on in the day.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to change it.
We now present the 2 p.m. showing of Goodfellas, edited for TV.
Like, what's the point? But anyway, we're missing the. They all lived happily ever after.
Aww.
Quite a nice happy ending for a violent revenge film.
It's just got to queue. 2 drinks. 1 for me. One for me.
One for me.
Yay.
I lived happily ever after.
It all worked out well for Q.
I may not get to snog a girl in a pool.
But I've got 2 drinks. And a suitcase full of explosives.
But I get to snog me.
Come here, you.
And now we end our violent revenge film with a fish winking at the camera.
A weird fish man thing again. Stop it. I also
the fish winked at the camera.
I'm also
it might as well have spoke. Hey, hope you liked it, kids. Stick around next week. We've got more Bond film coming up for you.
Hey, see you in 7 years.
Watch this space. Yeah, we've now got the longest gap now between any Bond films.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to say as well, this is something I've noticed from the Dalton era. They don't do proper end credits. They just do like this weird freeze frame thing, and then
the later Roger films did that though. That's an 80s thing.
It's just odd. I do like this end music though. It's very.
Is this this is Patti LaBelle, I think.
I don't know.
Yeah. There's the big
yeah.
Don't do this cool thing that we showed throughout that was cool.
Just have a brackets below, complicate pregnancy, saying cocaine's fine though.
Do all the coke you want.
Yeah.
And if someone wrongs you, and you want to go after them and revenge it, that's fine.
That's fine too. We don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, we won't look. We won't tell.
We're all good with bloodlust. So yeah, we've got
Frank
a 7-year
Elliott was
gap
camera
coming
focus.
up now.
Chunky Hughes, camera grip. Sorry, but who calls the kid Chunky?
We shall call him Chunky.
We shall call him Malcolm McIntosh. Now that's a name. Good camera operating.
Ned Cop.
Ned Cop.
That sounds like.
You're too close to the cakes, Ned Cop.
I'm just going to go dilly dilly.
Jewelry by Sheila Goldfinger.
Oh! Wow! Like that film, Goldeneye.
That's next time on the Fun Time Happy Show, or whatever this is called, that we do.
Yes, the comedy dining experience.
Yeah, that's the one.
So yeah.
Dirty Love. Ooh. Patti LaBelle.
Nice. Well, I know what I'm buying on the way home.
Like I said, my partner's favourite Bond, not this, but the opening song is her favourite Bond song.
Ah.
I thought that's a Crash Team Racing then. Cigarette Racing. Naughty Dog. Naughty Dog, they did a lot of good work on this film.
A Naughty Dog creation. James Bond will return.
Yeah,
but not for a while.
They've stopped. Well, they stopped doing that. Will return in a long time ago.
It was because they started cocking up the titles. Let's be completely honest.
Well, yeah.
That's a very 80s end title card.
Oh yeah.
So
I was License to Kill. That was better than I remembered it being.
yeah, you know what? This was the second time I watched it, but the first time I watched it for this commentary.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. And you told me last night whilst we were prepping for it that this was quite a divisive film.
Well, yeah, because it's so different. Because it's not like you can't really compare it to many. Even the later when we get to Daniel Craig and they get more darker and more adult, they're not as darker. They're not as viscerally nasty and gory as this film can get.
No,
and they're not as driven by like Bond is like a straight up sociopath in this film at times, which is not really a something you see in the other films. It's visceral is the word I'd use to describe it in a way that none of the Bond films before, and not even a lot of the ones after, even though a lot of the ones after, like I say, get dark as well and more adult, but they don't, not in this way.
Yeah.
Which is probably a reason why this film has the highest, which is why this film is the reason why every time they bring out that big ass Bond box set, it's a 15.
Yes.
Only this film.
Well, this is what I'm saying. Yeah. I could understand people maybe being a bit meh about it, or being like, well, it's not right. I couldn't understand somebody viscerally hating this.
I guess the common criticism is that it doesn't feel like a Bond film, to which my argument would be, but is a Bond film not allowed to experiment and try new stuff? This is what I was saying before about the 80s. This is why, as much as the 80s Bond films came up with some stinkers, at least they were trying stuff.
Yeah. Casino Royale in 1968 tried something different.
Well, that's not a Bond film.
Yeah, it is.
By that logic, Austin Powers is a Bond film.
It's got people called James Bond in it.
Like Flint is a Bond film.
The Dragon Lives Again is a Bond film.
The Man from U.N.C.L.E. Operation Kid Brother.
We should do Operation Kid Brother.
We should have done it back when we did the Connery oils.
I tell you what, we'll use it as the opening for the Daniel Craig era. We'll say we missed one and we'll do that.
Yeah. Apparently Sean Connery was really pissed off with Neil Connery. Like, he wouldn't talk to him for years.
Oh, God.
Because he did that. which I can understand.
Yeah.
That does make sense. My brother did a film about what a fool I was. I might be a little miffed as well.
My brother.
Actually,
Sean,
no, I'd find it funny.
He's a big Egypt. Is our Sean. So yeah, that was License to Kill. Ben, what did you give it out of 10?
Well, I don't love. This rewatch didn't make me love it, but it made me appreciate it. So I'll probably give it a 7.
You know what? I think I'm going to agree with you. I think that this is a good, strong 7. Is it View to a Kill good? No.
But not many things are.
Is it? Is it The Spy Who Loved Me good? No, not really. But I would say it was probably in my top 5, maybe even top 10 Bond films.
I'm going to finish this by eating some cold chips.
Ben is eating cold chips. I am going to slowly consume this 2-litre bottle of Sprite. We hope that you have enjoyed yourself on the comedy dining experience.
I'm sorry if the eating noises were disgusting.
I hope that you were disgusted by the eating noises. I hope they made you feel very ill. We're going to go off now and probably play something on the Switch, maybe.
You don't need to tell them the whole fucking schedule.
We're going to, and it's going to be fun. We're going to have adventures. I might even put the Rocky IV soundtrack on.
All this talk of Bill Collins has got you excited.
Yeah, I don't want to listen to the Gonna Fly now.
Have you got the Rocky films?
Yeah, I have. They're up in there. We'll do them at some point. I like the Rocky films. They're quite good. Anyway, yeah, we're going to have this conversation off air. Bye.